It'll be a great victory if they can pull one off here this afternoon. Start of the game then. Gale and Ball will go at it. Not a good bounce either. Comes back towards Gale, who takes clean possession. Hand passes to Knights, who kicks towards half forward. Marked inside the centre square though by Jakovic. He bounces away, runs to the wing, kicks it through half forward. They'll contest right on the 50. Down there trying to knock it away was Turner. Williams in the action immediately. The youngster spills across to Simmons. Gang tackle, down he goes, knocked away by Bowden. A whistle. And the umpire comes across to bounce it. David Ackland, number 17.
A very interesting centre bounce there, Roscoe. Only 3 forwards for the Tigers. The other 3 all lining up in defence.
Yes, and the 3 forwards are right up in the square. So the first quick kick out of the centre, if it was by Richmond, was always going to be chopped off by the West Coast half-back line.
Now Gale will take a free kick up from the back pocket. Held, approaching that ball. Into the man on the mark. Fuster, half chance, spins out of trouble, lays it off. Lewis deep in the pocket, nicely done. He's on the 50, pulls it back to the middle. Morrison is marked about 40 metres out directly in front.
Yes, well, Brendan Gale was just trying to kick the ball in a low trajectory to a player 30 metres away, in between the 50-metre line and the centre square, and in doing so just kept it too low. Fuster, tall player, jumped, was able to cut it off, and Lewis with his silky skills was able to avoid the oncoming Richmond player, square the ball where he had either Paul Simmons or Chad Morrison. Morrison takes the mark and should convert.
He's running into some pretty good form, Chad Morrison. It's tapering away towards the left. It's close. It's a behind. First score of the afternoon.
Yes, Ben Harrison effectively starting centre-half forward for Richmond, being picked up by Jakovic. Young Ottens is in the square at full forward, being picked up by McIntosh.
And Harrison also is lined up on the half-forward line, and Evans also for the Tigers. So a depleted forward line for the Tigers. There's a push out there to Gale. No free kick. Back of the pack, Cousins having a fantastic season. Certainly up for All-Australian. There's Morrison caught high. Free kick inside the centre square.
Against young Greg Tivendale, the left footer from Gislin Power.
To Cousins. As the kick half smothered. It's good play by Rogers, comes back, ricochets in the arms of Prescott, who pumps the ball back inside 50. So Chaffee got a bad bounce. It's got Waterman to beat. It's got great balance. Back to Banfield, across to Jakovic, running into top form. Finds Reid. Fine young player, ineligible for the Norwich Rising Star because he's been suspended. Kicks the ball down towards the half-forward line. Campbell from behind gets a big fist away, and they'll toss it back in.
Again, a situation with these uniforms very similar.
Michael Braun with the job on Matthew Knights at the moment, and Phil Reed's got Nick Daffy.
Spoke about the weather. It's terrific in Perth at the moment. Gale goes up, knocks at Goldwood. Morrison leads back in the race. Prescott has got him. At close quarters, Cousins. Tawney should have tackled. Rogers did, jarred it out. Chance for Evans. He's got it a long time. It's going to be a free kick there to the Tigers. It's coming back. Will be taken by Rogers on the other side wing. He boots it down towards centre half forward. Tailor-made for Jakovic, doing well in front. Bullis knocked it down to his own advantage. Hand passes wider, coming through. Matera in trouble, hasn't got the ball. They'll get a free kick across half back. Plays on immediately. Both sides looking to run it. Worsfold up towards the wing, low down for ball. Awkward one. Kellaway picks it up, slips the hand pass away. This is Evans, left half forward, kicks it down towards the 50. Missed by Chaffee low down. Chance now for Jakovic. Turns back into Chaffee. The hand pass not particularly good. Worsfold hard against the line. Well done under pressure. Got it to Lewis. Across to Matera. Matera runs from half back and kicks to half forward.
Fraser Gehrig pushed under the ball that time by Bullis. Coming out hard was Fuster. Bullis tries to get the ball across to Knights. Looks like he's got Braun as his shadow. Knights, the skipper for the Tigers. To Campbell, and finally just paddles the ball over the line. They'll toss it back in. Barra's on the boundary line.
KB, the benches for Richmond: Michael Gale, Aaron James, Trent Nichols and Damien Ryan. And for the Eagles, Donnelly, Mainwaring, Heady and Jones.
Well, a super crowd here at Subiaco. Magnificent day for football. And they're still chanting Eagles.
Andrew Kellaway on screen there, got the job on Mitchell White.
And Reid is picking up Nick Daffy. So obviously Mick Malthouse has prioritised the running midfield of the Tigers. Here's Reid. Runs inside 50, is off target and through for a behind.
Yes, the great thing he does have now is the ability to use some of those younger players like Reid and Braun to offset the workload of Drew Banfield, who's invariably had the tough job on the likes of Matthew Knights. So they can just ease his workload a little bit. They've also got Williams and Jones who can perform similar roles.
Eagles led it by 2 points. The early going from Subiaco Oval. Turner kicking in. Coming to the members' side, intended for Campbell. Up he goes, almost the grab too. Could have been taken high front on by Matera. And it will come back to Campbell as at left half back.
Matthew Knight saying the advantage perhaps could have been played, but the umpire just saying that occasion, Mark Nash, that Braun was in hop to shoot, so maybe a tackle may have been affected. The ball should come back.
Campbell up towards the wing. Harrison intended for him, but Bauer did well in front to take the mark for the Tigers. Feeds it on out. Broderick towards half forward. Just too much carry for Evans. Coming up to mid at Chaffee. Ricochets off him. Banfield slips the hand pass away to Waterman. Waterman comes out wide towards the wing and Matera. Leaders in the clear. Peter Matera. Mitchell White leading towards the middle. Now he's too close. Matera again miscues with a kick. We've seen a bit of that through the legs of Bullis. Brilliant pick up by the big man Fuster. Slips it away. Cousins right on the 50. Hand passes to Lewis. Lewis lines up and misses. Hitting the post. Missing them by the narrowest of margins.
Yeah, you call it down. It's a magnificent pick up by Fuster, just showing his athleticism. The kick wasn't good by Matera. He's trying to pinpoint it with that low trajectory off the side of the boot. Fuster through. Good hands. Clean ball had. He makes such a difference when you've got a forward who can handle the ball like that.
Well, 3 easy shots missed by the Eagles as Turner pumps the ball out wide. He's looking for Bullis. Girick goes the thump. Matera at the front of the pack. Slapped on that time by Lewis. 60 metres out from goal. Mitchell White concedes ground. Goes back. Ball. Thumps the ball back towards the goal square. And a good mark taken by Callaway. Full of courage. Gives it across. Rogers comes away from the half-back line. Looking for Gale. And again we see Blue McKenna just punch the ball back over the line. So there's Aaron James for the Tigers. Trent Nichols played here also with the West Coast Eagles. The West Coast have a 4-3 record at Subiaco this year. The Tigers yet to win here in Perth against the Eagles. Nick Daffy has had a fantastic season down towards the half-forward line. Chaffee comes out hard for the ball, being manhandled by Waterman, crashes and bashes, runs straight into Cousins, who tackles him and then thumps him to the ground, and they'll ball it up. So young Ottens is lined up at full forward, and Chaffee, 2 very inexperienced players for the Tigers. Harrison was a great player for the Tigers against Collingwood last week, playing cross half-back on the half-forward line today. Ottens tried to get a half bounce. Matera, Waterman, McIntosh in game number 150. Caught. Matera, and they'll ball it up.
Yes, that's Nathan Bauer affecting the tackle. He's his immediate opponent, which he has been in their last few encounters.
And has done okay too,
yes, he
Roscoe.
has the pace to stay with Matera.
Great pressure there from the Tigers. There's the bounce. Jakovic only as far as Evans. Dragged down. Broderick had the ball. Jakovic hand passes towards the runner on the boundary line. And socked across by Daffy. Nick Daffy, the Tigers' leading active goal kicker today with 26. That was his total last season, but his possessions are way up by 8 a game. Adrian?
A couple of matchups, as you said. Braun on Knights. Banfield's got the job on Broderick, and Peter Matera being tagged by Nathan Bauer.
Knights pulling it back towards full forward. Chaffee is down there, almost successful. Coming through Worsfold, but he had the ball. It comes wider still. McKenna burrows out of trouble. Across half back, he kicks very wide. Ball is there. Through his fingertips and across the line. Gale right with him. Thrown in. Broderick almost clean possession. Braun overran it. Reid socketed forward. Away by Gale. Prescott onto the loose ball. Campbell inside the centre square. Kicks inside the 50. And the formula down there is Chaffee on the lead. Ottens for the long ball. Chaffee did brilliantly. Tawney's got it now from Evans. He's about 35 out. Some indecision. Gets it across to Harrison. Great pressure applied, but Harrison gets the kick off. And he's successful despite Jakovic.
Well, that's where those early missed shots by West Coast have given Richmond a chance. They've gone for. They've had a few opportunities inside 50. This time, Tawney just hanging on to the ball. He thought the handball coming over from Evans to him was a little bit high. He got around a couple of players there. Jakovic's the second one, and Harrison on his favourite left boot, who can finish pretty well, did that. Pushes him in front.
Tigers by 3 points. Harrison has had a good season. Originally with Carlton, he was in the Justin Murphy swap. Inside the centre square, Braun, all tied up by Knights, and they'll ball it up. So Braun has the job, playing on Matthew Knights today. Tiger skipper playing in his 192nd game. Such an important player. Speak of the devil, the skipper. Across the Daffy, the playmaker, inside the centre square. It's a high ball. Matera waits under it. Was manhandled. Should have got a free kick. Cousins does well. Gets the ball down towards Morrison. Unloads a big bomb back towards centre half forward. Making good ground was Simmons. Chance for Williams on 50. Got a quick kick away. Goes over the line for a boundary throwing just 15 metres around from the Eagles' goal.
Yeah, no question. Should have been a free kick to Matera because Nathan Bauer just no intention really on the ball initially. Just interfered, took the line of Matera.
Tigers by 3 points. Just under 12 minutes, still quarter time. Such an important game, this one. Gale, clean possession, and the kick towards half-back. Bounces off the chest of Rogers. Daffy's away around the outer side. High kick, hugging the boundary line. Favours Jakovic, though. Harrison not happy, and rightly so. He was leading. Jakovic hung back, and the kick came directly to him. Now ball alongside the centre circle. Touches it down. It's about a bounce. Not too convincing. Runs down towards centre half forward. I'm still not convinced. Comes across to Matera, who wore one on the nose. He's got nothing to thank Ball for.
Jason Ball came across ground because if he was going to kick long, the closer he got to the 50-metre line, the only one inside the 50 closer to goal were Richmond players. So if he didn't make the distance, it would have been cleared away. That's why he squared the ball up.
Braun's got it, right half forward. Kicks inside the 50. Fuster on the lead. Turner right there. This is Bowden. Fuster, good second effort on the ground. Bowden under pressure. Young Williams forcing the error. Out of bounds on the full. Terrific by Fuster there. Fell over but stayed in it.
Mitchell White. Pretty tough angle right on 50, Roscoe.
Yes, again protected by the stand, so a pretty straight kick. Should see this if he gets the distance through, if he doesn't want to drop it short.
Well, he's kicked 8 goals for the season. Mitchell White, All-Australian, across the face of goal. So it's a chance for the high fly, and Fuster's got it. Too strong.
That's a pretty line ball. The goal umpire in good position, but looked as if the ball might have been across the line. But no, the umpire said mark fairly taken. It was a very clean grab. From our angle here, looks as if he might have just been across the line, but still, the defensive punch must always happen in that situation.
And Joel Bowden's coming off for that indiscretion of kicking the ball out on the full. Looked a little bit slow to react, Joel Bowden, when he went to the ball. And Michael Gale has come on. Fuster from a tough angle. Put it straight across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full. So the Tigers by 3 points. The loser today drops out of the top 8. Just a couple of percent separating Richmond and the West Coast, but Melbourne winning today puts the pressure on Tigers. With a depleted side, had plenty to play for. Bullis, Gehrig from behind, got his hands on the ball. They'll throw it back in.
Fraser Gehrig struggling for form in recent weeks. 49 goals on the season. Chris Mainwaring waits. He's used to that. Throwing in. Banfield. Quick one away. Cousins had it bounce off his chest. Looked up, saw black and gold and gave it to Kellaway, who hand passes to Knights. A high one. Great body work there by Jakovic. Bodies and wills. And it was Jakovic who prevailed.
Where he needs a lead from Gehrig. He's going to get it from Fuster, but he's going short instead to Morrison.
Morrison cross towards the middle then. Pops it to Ball on the wing. Gale, his opposite number, dropping back into the hole, and as Ball runs forward, Gale runs back, and it goes in that direction. Gale goes back on White and takes the mark.
Just the wrong option, Dennis, wasn't it? I mean, Fuster presented himself the other way, and he's gone to the shorter play, and Gale, the taller player for Richmond.
Yes, Bauer got it from Campbell, comes back to Campbell. Great chase, great pressure by the Eagles. They untangle themselves down there. Crowd very happy, as are the Eagles players with the work of Simmons.
A terrific play by Simmons. So a chance for the Eagles. Banfield will have to do the ruck work against Gale. Down to Tawney, who's caught. Feeds it out towards Knights. Back to Broderick, who's been in top form, looking for Prescott out wide. Just couldn't quite hang on to the second grab. Here's a chance for McKenna. Feeds the ball off to Simmons outside of 50. Big bomb. Lewis caught from behind. Off hands and through for a minor score. Capacity house here at Subiaco, big crowd.
Yeah, terrific atmosphere, isn't it? I was going to say it's a bit like the old rope-a-dope here, KB. Richmond on the ropes, just covering up at the moment and taking all these shots from the Eagles.
Well, we know what happened when Ali did the rope-a-dope. He come back with a knockout.
Exactly.
Gale marking in front of Ball. Got a big job today too. Benny Gale. Take on Fuster and Ball. He'll probably get some relief from Offens at some stage. From the half-back line. Kicks up towards centre wing. Evans in front. Ooh. Big pack of players. And they'll ball it up. So the Tigers by 2 points. Let's go down to Barra.
KB, just a bit of concern on the Eagles bench about Richmond flooding back into the Eagles forward line and blocking the space for Gerrigan Fuster. They're going to try to clear it out, but it's not working at the moment.
Bounce on the wing. Evans goes up, knocks it down. A wrestle ensues. Down goes Cousins. Matera didn't have it again. He'll get the free kick. Interesting that last high ball. Players do have long memories. Gehrig and Bullis, who found themselves at the tribunal last season. Good contact in midair. Got to remember those things. There's Matera. The side is down by 2 points despite controlling the play. Fraser Gehrig comes on the wing. That's ignored. He's only about 15 metres further afield. Now Matera kicks it down towards half forward. Turner and Fuster. Rogers at their feet, appealing for a free kick. Cousins didn't wait. Breaks away. Right on the 50. Heads for home. Back goes Campbell. No chance. Great goal.
Well, you can't beat class, and the finishing skills of Ben Cousins are well renowned, and just if he gets the ball in that area, he did have a lead from Simmons, who presented himself probably about 25 out, but Cousins looked up, square was open. Good work by Fuster to keep front position, and Cousins just coming through, beautifully picked up, just on 50. Simmons, we just saw in the foreground there, presenting himself on Campbell. Great goal.
Super young player Ben Cousins, just his third year of AFL football. The Eagles by 4 points. Ball beaten by Gale. Daffy, quick kick down towards the half-forward line. Banfield does well against Broderick. Worsfold to Morrison. They open it up wide to Reid. He's got the run of Cousins, having a terrific opening term. Rockets the ball back to Reid. Daffy left in his wake, kicks the ball deep into the forward line. Simmons in front. Got bundled out of the way by Campbell. Good support. Michael Gale started on the bench. Came on when Bowden was dumped. Centre wing. Evans. Looks like he may have gone over the line. They'll toss it back in. So Joel Bowden was taken from the field. That kick out on the full, which costs the Tigers the first goal. So throw in on centre wing. 7 minutes of action left in this first quarter. Ball to do battle with Gale. Tried to feed it off to Worsfold. And again they'll bounce it. So ball up on the centre square. The Eagles 1-4-10. The Tigers 1 goal. So the Eagles by 4 points. Mitchell White tried to weave his way out of trouble. Picked up by Broderick. Caught by McKenna. Goes to ground. Cousins held without it. McKenna, the tackler. And again, they'll ball it up.
6.5 minutes to quarter time. Eagles leading it by 4 points. Just another Eagles game, eh? Low scoring affair again. Broderick upended. Tivendale can't control it initially. Just outside the 50, throws it on the boot. It's a good kick, right on the line. Jakovic goes back. The last line of defence, underscored there, got his hand to it, and it's a behind.
It's great effort here by Jakovic just to hold Ottens off. Ottens tried to push him over the line, but Jakovic had desperate effort in the end. Good kick by young Tivendale too on his favourite left boot. And Mitchell White is off for a breather. Andrew Donnelly on, and he might get a kick here.
Braun's got it. Realises it's 2-on-1. Banfield. The one Evans did pretty well there to knock it away, but following up Braun, the man who kicked it. Just a youngster, but averaging 15 possessions a game. Turns it over. Bullis. Well, he dropped the mark. Plenty of Tigers there, though. The hand pass came from Killaway to Campbell to Bauer. Now Knights. Inside the centre square. McKenna goes back with a flight of it. Chaffee. Behind them, Waterman knocking it towards the line. Waterman number 39. Chaffee does well. Fought strongly for the Tigers. And that's a good result for Richmond. Out of bounds on the 50.
This is where it really shows where they miss a Richardson or a Holland to present themselves as a tall player and forward. They've got to kick the ball out wide to running players like Chaffee on a lead.
Ottens to do battle with McIntosh, playing in game number 150 today. Daffy around the corner. It's a high ball. Evans pushing and shoving with Worsfold. Did well, got his fist to the ball. Broderick to Harrison. It's at the post.
Well, he's been their sole scorer, KB, kicking 1 goal, the other one forced through, of course, by Jakovic. So they're making the most. They're still looking dangerous when they do go inside that forward area.
Well, it's an interesting forward setup because Chaffee hasn't kicked a goal this season, and he's been a focal point down there leading. And Ottens has only kicked 2 goals for the season. Yes, he's lined up at full forward.
And actually Prescott's virtually playing half forward. He's normally a run-with player, creative type, more so this season. He's basically playing on Guy McKenna.
So it's not a goal-kicking forward line at the moment. Kicks out wide, looking for Jakovic. Back in his best form, Reid. Run down. Good tackle that time by Campbell. Got support from Jakovic on the front edge of the centre square, goes short. There's a very good mark to Williams. They're looking for 50. That's Michael Gale. Williams, the youngster, kicks down to 50, looking for Donnelly, off hands. Morrison, such a dangerous player, one of the young guns. Fuster couldn't take it on the second grab. Turner at ground level, tries to slap it out, needs support. Knights wants a free kick. The Tigers will get it.
He was sitting behind Fuster in his legs. How's he supposed to get it out from there?
Well, experienced umpiring Peter Carey to Campbell. That half-back. Gale on a lead. That's been ignored. So the boos go around Subiaco. The Eagles by 2 points. The loser drops out of the top 8. The game is up for grabs today. Punched away that time by Ball. Here's Cousins. Winning a lot of the ball in this first term. Pumps the ball back, looking for Lewis. Comes out hard. Couldn't quite take it. Gale pounces on it to Knights. Doing a lot of damage across half-back. Sets it up, looking for Evans, the Birdman. Under pressure from McKenna. Caught. No free kick. Prescott right on 50. Bangs it through.
Well, it's a terrific finish by Richmond, as you said, KB. Set up across half-back by Knights. And the plaudits from the Richmond teammates also coming to Andrew Kellaway for his effort. We might just see this set up again. No, we'll miss it. The crowd calling for a free kick against Evans for the tackle by McKenna. Play allowed to go on, which is rightly so. Good finish by Ashley Prescott. Just his 5th goal for the season, but a very important one.
Just over 3 minutes to quarter time. The margin 4 points the Tigers' way. Ball goes up, knocks it down. Knights claimed immediately by Lewis. It spills wide. Rogers across the ground, too high for Daffy. Getting back in the race then Peter Matera. He's on the wing. Matera down towards half forward. Simmons comes on the lead. Missed the mark because a man came across his path. A teammate there in Braun. And now Simmons will get a free kick in any case. It was pushed in the back by Campbell. Simmons looking dangerous on the forward line. Although Campbell's seen quite a bit of the ball. Simmons towards half forward. Fuster comes on the lead. Up he goes. Camped in front, Knights. Clever hand pass to Kellaway. Over the top to Bauer. Runners inside. Bauer took too long. Thought he went out of bounds. Very close to it. Kicks it up towards the wing. Gained about 35 metres. Eventually it bounces across the line. 2-2 to 1-4. Barra.
A classic battle going on in the forward pocket, back pocket with Simmons and Campbell. Ross, I'm just not sure why Campbell's playing in the back pocket, but it's obviously working.
He's had 5 possessions so far, Campbell. Braun gets it from Reid. The two youngsters have been busy. Probing kick. Kellaway goes back. Great courage. Donnelly waiting in front. Misses wide to the right. Well, it runs in the family. That was great courage by Kellaway.
Outstanding. No, I think just to answer Barrow's question, I think they started up certainly as wingmen initially, and then they just dragged Campbell away from the play to set Simmons up in that forward area, which has worked okay.
If you played the game, you know that sort of kick coming in attracts a hard, fast lead. It was a low kick. They were coming, and Kellaway stretching to go back. Just fantastic. Turner kicks in towards the outer side. Buller's in front, had it knocked away. Tivendale close to the boundary line and passes across. It'll be thrown in. 150 remaining in the opening term.
Malthouse has made his way down from the coach's box. This has been a terrific opening term by the Tigers. Came across today, rank outsiders. Tigers have never won here at Subiaco. Here's a chance for Banfield. Hit him on the chest, needs support. Knights, Lewis, quick snap. Off target. So some wasted opportunities for the Eagles.
I think he thought or rather Phil Matera was in there.
He's looking for him.
Turner to bring the ball back into play for the Tigers. Just over a few seconds left. What's that, Roscoe? 13.5 seconds left in the game. Here's Bullis. Bundled out of the way. Matera. Edge of the centre square. Chance for the Eagles. Kellaway, Donnelly. Got his body on the line. Lewis at ground level. Forced back over the line by Turner. And again, they'll toss it back in. So the time clock ticking away. Tigers by 2 points. They've done well coming to this side without Richardson, without Powell, without Gaspar, without Plapp. Broderick got bundled over. Daffy. He's got Reid to beat. Fuster keeps the ball alive. Banfield crunched by Turner to Braun. Seconds ticking away. Chance for ball. Couldn't take it. Simmons under pressure. Great smother by Knights. The Tigers desperate in defence. Morrison too hot to handle. Taken by Campbell. The Tigers run the ball out of defence. Tawney wants to set it up. Rockets the ball wide to Gale. Has to concede ground to Knights. Sets it up. Back to Tawney, who goes back towards the half-forward line. Evans playing in front. Thumped away by Worsfold. Ducks the head. Tigers tackling strongly across the half-forward line.
What about Matthew Knights? 11 possessions so far, and that great smother.
And he's like Guy McKenna too, Dennis. You get full value from his possessions. He gets more than McKenna does, but both effective in distributing the ball either by hand or foot.
So under 30 seconds left in this opening term. That was a minute and a half before Roscoe as the Tigers go forward. Matera at centre half back. Weaves his way out of trouble. It's a hurried kick back towards the centre wing. Gale hits the ball hard. Down goes Braun. And again the ball trickles over the line and they'll toss it back in.
Well, there's a scent of September about this one. Jeff Geeshan, cross line, striding around the boundary line. Inside, up by 2 points. Got a reasonable start now. Can they go on? Here's Reid, who's been very good. Pulling it back towards centre half forward. The clock is running down. Banfield and Knights body to body on the siren. Fitting. Matthew Knights, the star of the opening term. They'll need him to press on. Not easy. It's not that hot. We showed you the temperature, 17 degrees at the moment. It's been tough. 2-2 to 1-6. It's Richmond by 2 points at quarter time.
let's go back to the action for the second term between the Eagles and the Tigers.
So it's quarter time here at Subiaco Oval, and the Tigers lead it by 2 points, 2-2 to 1-6. Goal scorers for Richmond, Prescott, Harrison, and for the Eagles, Ben Cousins has got their goal. One other game in progress at the moment, that's at the MCG, Carlton against St Kilda, and how about that scoreline? 9:15 to 7:10. Stewie Lowe is back today. He's booted 3 for the Saints, but they trail by 17 points midway through the third term.
The 1998 AFL Premiership season brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. Victoria Bitter for a hard-earned thirst. Cadbury Mark of the Year, McDonald's Double Quarter Pounder with Cheese, and Mitsubishi Motors, the award-winning Magna.
The Tigers by 2 points. Here's Adrian Barrage.
Thanks, Dan. Yes, as you anticipated, Jeff Gershon very, very happy with his boys. Charged out to the huddle and just applauded them, said the pressure's fantastic. We're one down now, 3 more to go. Let's keep the pressure on the boys. We're undermanned, but we're going very, very well. And from Malthouse's point of view, I guess that's what he's upset about. They've had 6 shots at goals that have been behinds and really put the pressure on themselves. So the pressure from the Tigers, the key to the game at the moment.
Thanks, Adrian. Umpire Carey's got the footy. Carey, Nash and Ackland in charge this afternoon. Dua opening term. The Tigers in front, coming to the second quarter. Breeze freshening ever so slightly. The Eagles will go with it. Reid out of the centre, kicking towards centre half forward. Bounces off the chest of Kellaway. He follows up, finds it on the ground, kicks it out towards the wing. Down goes Tivendale, on his knees Morrison. Tivendale recovers though, nicely done by the youngster. Playing his first game, he kicks towards half forward Harrison. Unkind bounce, it favoured Jakovic close to the boundary line. Jakovic proceeded to slip, hacks it out of midair. Luckily it goes towards Donnelly. Donnelly trapped it pretty well, then through the legs of Williams. Gale a chance to stand, looked down ground, but the kick was blanketed off the boot. As a result came to Braun. Braun spears a pass into Simmons. Their understanding has been very good. Running back towards the square, Fuster getting in behind Banfield. It runs away from him and goes across the line.
Some wasted opportunities for the Eagles, Roscoe.
Yes. Yeah, no question. That's Adrian said that coming from the coach, that's where the pressure's been placed on themselves with those missed shots in that first quarter.
8 scoring shots to 4. The Tigers lead by a point.
And they also had probably close enough to 20 more possessions in that first quarter, so had more of the football.
Tigers have certainly got back into defence to flood the defence of the Eagles. As Turner, beautiful long kick. There's a good grab taken by Ball. So the lead was on from Fuster. That's been ignored, so he just kicks long. Simmons and Donnelly there as well, ground level. Morrison runs into the open goal and bangs it through.
That's his first goal, and beautifully read there by Chad Morrison. He's such a classic utility player. He can play back as half-back, even in as a full-back type player. Can run on ball, can be a half-forward. The kick that was marked from the kick-out by Ball, pushed back inside. The contest there, Donnelly, Fuster, spilt ball, Morrison straight onto it.
That was his 20th goal for the season.
And Jeff Gershon also realising the damage that Ben Cousins did too, KB, in that first quarter. He's got Ashley Prescott off a half-forward flank to pick him up as a run-with player.
Well, he had 8 possessions and kicked a great goal. Ball, pumps the ball back inside 50. Bullis got his hands on it, should have held the mark. Fraser Gehrig applied the pressure. Banfield taken by Knights. The champs got it. Great first term for the Tigers. That's possession number 12. Gets it out wide to Bauer. He's got the job playing on Matera. Bad bounce there for coming across was Bullis. Jakovic. Back pedals. Knights. It's got 2 to beat. Banfield goes to ground, heads towards the boundary line. And Bauer happy to see it over.
And again, the Tigers force wide, KB, because they don't have that target to kick toward at centre half forward, even though Harrison's been very competitive there. They haven't got that Richardson Holland type to kick high too, so they've been pushed wide to Chaffee, etc.
Harrison doing the ruck work. Braun, all tied up by Prescott, asks the question, and they'll ball it up. The Eagles by 5 points. Ball up on the half-forward flank for the Tigers. Chaffey and Ottens still in the goal square as the ball once more goes over the line. So a pretty interesting forward setup there with young Chaffey and Ottens still the key forwards. Of course, the Tigers just won 7 record at Subiaco. They've never defeated the Eagles. Broderick slaps the ball forward. Was looking for Rogers, crashing his way through was Bluey. McKenna gets the ball out wide to Reid. The whistle's gone. He's got the free kick at half-back. They wanted advantage, the Eagles, looking for Matera. Again, Bauer does well. Matera with a bit of magic. On the half-forward line, Bauer, the tackler, does well. Thumped that time by Geary, hits the deck. Knights comes away, shows the ball. A casual bounce, trying to set it up. The playmaker, he's gone, caught. Great tackling by Fraser Geary. Brent Knights down, too casual. And there we see Nathan Bauer. This is where Bauer copped it from Fraser Geary. And then Geary chased so hard, he caught Knights. It was magnificent play. So Fraser Geary from centre wing pumps the ball inside 50. Donnelly was the high flyer. At ground level, they need a crumb up. Pounced on this time by Braun. Gives it back towards ball, kicks a high ball. Lewis will take the front position. He's got it.
Such better judgment too, KB.
Good body work.
Yeah, good body work. All the experience of his 209 games coming to the fore here. And good work by Fraser Geary. That might be the lift that he needs, and certainly an inspiration to his teammates as we see Bauer come from the ground.
Double change for the Tigers because Tivendale's off as well. Bowden's on, and also Ryan's coming on as Lewis kicks a goal.
Well, this is the sort of conversion they're looking for in the first quarter. Couldn't get it. Just makes such a difference if you go inside your 50 and score from there. They've done it twice now. Morrison with the crumbs in the initial flurry early, and then here ball just gets the ball from Braun, sets it up pretty high. And Lewis running back, body on Benny Gale. Too easy.
So a good start to the second term from the West Coast Eagles. They're up by 11 points here. Gale goes up, taps it down. Daffy was taken high. He'll get the free kick. We'll come back to Nick Daffy right in the centre circle.
They've left the big hole at centre half forward, Richmond.
Daffy kicks down towards centre half forward. Evans had it knocked away by Worsfold. Chaffey hit the ball hard. Bowden just back on the ground, kicks it down towards full forward. It's wide of the mark though. Out of bounds on the full in the pocket.
I think it's a good move bringing Bowden back onto the ground because he can kick a goal, and he hasn't been in his best form this year. But last year in one quarter he booted 4 goals against Collingwood, I think. From it might have been against the West Coast Eagles or Collingwood at the MCG.
It certainly won't hurt to rotate those players anyway, KB. Just
Injured
to make
his
sure.
shoulder, but he is a class player.
McKenna bounce off his chest. Trouble now. Matera kicks it around the outer side. The sloppy out of bounds on the full. So Bauer off the ground. He was running with Matera. His problems, but obviously a match-up Jeff Keeshan wanted. Now that's no longer. Here's Jakovic. Deep inside his own defensive 50. Chips it back towards the outer side. And the mark is taken by Ball. Bright sunny conditions now. The West Coast Eagles have what breeze there is. Geary goes up, had it knocked away by Bullis. Down in front, the hand pass came out towards the boundary line there from Kellaway, and across it goes.
There's Damien Ryan, who's come on to replace Bauer, has that job immediately on. Matera has the advantage in height.
Here they are. Meanwhile, ball goes up and knocks it down. Broderick had it knocked away by Banfield. It spills across towards Campbell, and Campbell was taken high. Everybody know, plays on immediately. Knights to Daffy. 3 players they need firing. Daffy running through the centre square, unloads inside the 50, but he's been knocked off for going too far. Not what they need.
Well, he was beckoning for a Tiger player. He was beckoning for someone to give him a lead.
Yes. So the Eagles have got it. Cousins, his 9th possession, out wide to Simmons. Meters in the clear. Just one or two alarm bells sounding now for the Tigers. They need to be careful in the next 5 minutes. Simmons, today's loser, as we've said, drops out of the 8 with Melbourne winning at Football Park. The kick inside the 50. They queue up down there, and Fuster has taken this mark about 25-30 metres out, almost directly in front.
Well, no question, this is the fellow that can use a centre half forward as a regular post in that position there, because he's such a tall, strong fellow and has the agility and athleticism, as we saw in the first quarter on a couple of occasions, to get the ball on the ground as well as bustle in packs and take the mark overhead, and is a pretty reliable kick.
Just get the feeling, Roscoe, this is a big name player waiting to happen, Brendan Fuster. He kicks and puts it through. He's got all the attributes.
Yes, and that's the finish that he is capable of. It's a quick change has been made by West Coast. Chris Waterman off the ground, and Mitchell White going to a back pocket to match up on Aaron James. They just brought Aaron James on, so the mismatch in height there just countered by West Coast, as we see the mark by Fuster. Good strong hands there. Turner not able to get the effective spoil away.
So the Tigers have gone for a little bit more height on the forward line with Aaron James. They trail 14-31. Pushing and shoving was Harrison. Big fist away that time from Jakovic. Here's Bowden. Now he's an outstanding young player. If he can find his best form, he'll be a danger today. And he's got it.
Well, Kev, I think that's a perfect example of what you're talking about. His ability to come on that left foot. Just the always elusive left footers, for whatever reason, players just don't pick that up quickly enough. There was a good contest in the end too by Bullis. He and Jakovic, we watched the centre bounce. Ball pushed forward by Daffy. Jakovic gets a spoil away here, but Bullis is able to recover on the ground and just shove that ball out in Bowden's favour. Gets around Matera, and good distance with the left foot.
West Coast by 11 points. Well, any player who can kick 4 goals in a quarter has a lot of ability. And Bowden last year was one of the top selections in the Norwich Rising Star. He's had a lot of injuries. He's broke his collarbone a couple of times, but he can play. Here's a chance for James. Only got his first touch. Harrison pumps the ball back to the square. Ottens just grappling there with McIntosh, who does well. Puts it over the line for a behind.
The strength again of Ashley McIntosh. So the Eagles up by 10 points, running on the breeze and looking pretty good. Here's Rogers close to the line. Interesting hand pass back over the shoulder. Knights has got it. 70 metres from goal. Sets it up towards the top of the square. McIntosh comes back hard. Stayed out of the contest though. Jakovic couldn't complete the mark. Knocks it to White. White the looping hand pass. Cousins confronted. Lost it. Now a chance for Daffy. Deep in the pocket. Pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Ryan almost. Matera though gets the crumb. Now Matera's away. Breaking for him is Braun. Braun on the outer side. I guess it begs the question when the introduction of Chris Mainwaring will come. Perhaps if they want to be buoyed, this wouldn't be a bad time. On the outer side, Rogers trying to soccer it away. Simmons. Onto the loose ball is Bullis at close quarters. Feeds it across to Campbell. Campbell, good hand pass. This is Harrison inside the centre square. Kicks inside the 50. All West Coast Eagles, and Reid takes it. Hits the ground running.
He's got the job of picking up Nick Daffy. Reid from half back goes wide looking for Simmons. Couldn't take the mark. Rogers got a kick before in the wrist. And they'll toss it back in.
Yeah, costly poor kick there by Ben Harrison coming through the middle of the ground.
That's where Simmons here makes contact there with Rogers. So a throw in on centre wing. The Eagles by 10 points. And again they'll ball it up.
Out on the outer side calling for high contact.
What about the introduction of Mainwaring?
Oh, I agree with you. No, good time.
Nice time now, approaching half-time.
So Simmons pulled off the ball by Rogers. No free kick. Evans gets it back to Daffy. Feeds the ball off to Ryan, who goes back towards centre half forward. He's looking for Aaron James. Got a bad bounce. Mitchell White, the All-Australian, kicks it off the ground. Michael Gale, outside of 50, can go short. Aaron James, he's got him.
Good coverage there by Michael Gale. Just a little fortunate the kick came in his favour, but just looked up at the right time and James had run back from the pack just into the space behind them about 30 metres away. Gale could have blazed towards the square, but knew that Ottens was going to have a bit of a contest with McIntosh. The better option was James.
Just kicked the 1 goal for the season, playing his 5th game for the Tigers. He's got the Tigers back to within 4 points.
Well, it's a good response here by the Tigers, because the Eagles have kicked 3 unanswered goals in this second term to forge away, and looked as if they were really going to take control of the game, but then Richmond have bitten back with a goal to bout, and now with James getting involved, you see the bounce just favouring Mitchell White a little. Kicked off the ground, but this is where it favoured Gale, who just covered the area in front. An intelligent setup.
Ball is with David Ackland. The Tigers back within 4 points. Very good bounce too. Up goes ball to thump it down. Once more they work it out of the middle. Tawney across to Prescott, who kicks to half forward. Harrison drops the mark, should have held it. Morrison comes away. They can pay dearly. Morrison up towards the wing, kicking down towards half forward. Wide of the mark though. And Turner. Turner up from the back pocket. Oh, some element of danger here. Goes across the goal face. Rogers under the pump. Broderick needs to be quick. He's gone. Lewis got him. Terrible football. Braun comes up with it, pulls it back. Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Well, Dennis, that was terrible football, because Turner had done the right thing to mark the kick coming inside the 50. He had Broderick short, but Broderick was calling it, and he was as clear as I'm sure Turner would have seen him. He decided then to go back across ground with a poor kick. You see Broderick in the foreground quickly, puts Kellaway under pressure. He has to then go to Broderick, who's just besieged. No chance getting out, and the clever kick from Braun, who's beautiful disposal on both sides, is a feature of his game. He's just such an emerging player.
5-7-37. The Eagles, the Tigers 4-3-23. Gale, his hands on the ball first. Reed, fine young player. Tigers under pressure. Broderick just tumbles the ball back towards centre half forward again, looking for Harrison. McKenna being manhandled by Knights. Wanting a bounce was Worsfold. Thumped the ball forward to Simmons across half back. Kicks down towards centre wing. Too much carry on the ball for Williams. Gale traps it well. Started on the bench. It's been handy since he's come on. Rogers again thumps the ball back towards Evans. Too much carry again. Got caught underneath the ball. Knights just mesmerises Worsfold. Runs to 50. Hooks it around the corner. Is looking for Aaron James. Ottens traps it well. Squeezed up on the boundary line. Gets the ball back to Ryan. Quick kick. He's kicked it.
Just a clever finish, KB. A very clever finish there by young Ryan, and the ability for the Tigers to keep the ball alive from this wing in front of us here on the members' side, just to push that ball back along the forward line, get a contest there from Evans. Knights over the back, just comes inside of Worsfold. I thought perhaps could have had a shot at goal, but elected to push it towards the pocket where his teammate was, over his head. Beautiful control there by Ottens though. And then Ryan had to kick quickly. Matera was bearing down. Did it beautifully.
Great poise. The Eagles up by 4 points. The Tigers will not go away. Makeshift side, they're showing a lot of heart this afternoon. Knights has been the leader certainly. Prescott doing important things inside the centre square. Gale knocks it out wide. Lewis picks it up. Gets it across to Braun. Braun cleverly. Cousins down towards half forward. Going back is Kellaway. Coming up is Turner. Turner took his eye off the ball. Williams has it now. They can square. He'll try and run it through. Well, he's wide of the mark. He put it out pretty well. It's hit the behind post, so a boundary throw in.
There's a couple of lessons there for Scott Turner. Firstly, that kick across goal, which was very costly. And then that second time, as Dennis said, just took his eye off the ball. As Brett Heady comes on.
Wearing. Crowd favourite is out there. Adrian.
Just the news on Nathan Bauer. He's okay, has a slightly damaged left shoulder and should be okay to take his place in the game later on.
Well, Fuster's got a free kick from the boundary throw in. He's only 20 metres out. He's already booted one. So the defence of the Tigers making a few mistakes here. It's hurting them. mistakes in defence generally, they translate to the scoreboard. Well, this time Fuster has brushed the post, the wrong side, but it wasn't far away. Just over 9 minutes till half time. Well, it wasn't free paid, but both seem to be involved in pushing and shoving there. Turner kicking towards the outer side. Gale is the target. Man went down off the ball. That was Matera. Prescott doing well now. Hurriedly onto the boot, up towards the wing. Awkward bounce. Bowden leads back. McKenna there. Bowden. Sockers off the ground. Jakovic and Harrison. Jakovic controlled it pretty well. Couldn't come out with it though. Oh, a wild swing from Campbell. Jakovic's not impressed. Harrison was going after the footy. And the ball up midway between half back and the wing. 5-8 to 5-3. The West Coast Eagles in front after they trailed by 2 points at quarter time. There's the bounce. The ruckman, well, they're improvising ruckman. Harrison and Jakovic, neither of them touched the ball. Daffy goes off the ground, kept it in initially. Matera escorts it across the line.
Just under 9 minutes left in this second quarter. It's been a good effort by the Tigers. 5-3-33, they trail by 5 points. A few words being said. Bowden and Worsfold. Reed's there as well with Daffy. Thumped away by Jakovic. McKenna goes to ground. Daffy pounces on it, tries to break the tackle from Banfield. Cousins keeps running hard at the ball. The whistle is gone. Cousins will take the free kick.
I'm just not sure what Matthew Rogers was thinking there, but he certainly didn't make much of an attempt on the ball. In fact, he ended up botting his own teammate out of the way.
Lewis makes ground. Didn't get the bounce he wanted. Tawney caught. It's up for grabs. Braun goes to ground. Roderick's there as well. And we see Lewis having a wrestle. So a bit of fire coming into this game. A bit of feeling. Andrew Callaway. Boundary throw in. Donnelly doing the ruck work for the Eagles. Quick kick forward. Knights has had 15 possessions. Happy to run the ball over the line. So the Eagles by 5 points with a throw in on 50. Gale slaps it down. Couldn't be taken by Callaway. Gale then goes to ground and takes the ball over as well. So again, a chance for the Eagles. Inside 50, Campbell has been handy. Callaway to Tawney, to Ryan. He's already kicked a goal. Started on the interchange bench to Harrison. He's got Jakovic to beat. Heady just off the interchange bench. Back towards Cousins, their playmaker. Been magnificent today as well. And again, they'll toss it back in.
It's a real battle. The stakes are very high. Thrown in outer side. Ball and Gale as they've done all day. Simmons. Good evasion, then proceeded to give it away. Broderick, the most experienced player for the Tigers, slips it to Daffy, but he's always headed across the boundary line. Adrian?
Dan, the Eagles have revamped their forward line, as you said. Fuster one out now. Gary's gone back, as well as Mitchell White. Gary actually playing at full back at the moment.
Off hands, down in front. Broderick again, coming off 35 possessions last week. He's had 7 so far this afternoon. Tawney, trying to path through there. Draws a man, goes to Daffy. The Tigers with a chance to grab the lead here. Low down. James takes a very good mark. That was a cheeky one. He's marked at about 45 metres out.
It was an important mark because that ball with another step was going to be on the ground, so he just got his hands under it. Daffy saw him on the lead. It was a good setup. Just got his arms underneath it. Needs a good finish as Broderick comes off for a spell and Trent Nichols on for a run.
So James will kick from just inside the 50. Inside down by 5 points. So this for the lead, a little bit straight. Going at his second, it's bending back, it's very close. The umpire's gone to his left of the high. Didn't miss by much. Anxious times. Jeff Geeshan took over after round 17 last year, coached West Perth. 3 seasons in the WAFL competition here in Perth.
And the loser today drops out of the top 8.
I'm not so sure that Glenn Jakovic is travelling that well either. I think he might have to come off for a breather.
Looks a bit proppy.
Yes.
Morrison traps it across half back, gives it across to the running McIntosh. What a season he's had. Pumps it up towards the half forward line. Playing in front is Tawney. Lewis does the shepherding. Donnelly outside of 50. This is a great kick. Turner trying to get back. Fuster.
Yes, Glenn Jakovic definitely wants to come off, but they haven't got the bench organised yet. Great mark by Fuster. Good squaring kick too.
So he goes wide. And also Chris Mainwaring's warming up on the boundary line. That's the roar going around Subiaco. Huge roar as Mainwaring comes onto the field. His first game since round 2 of last year. So this is a great comeback, Roscoe.
Yeah, sensational. The young Braun's been very good today. He's featured highly in possessions. Also the quality of his work has been outstanding. 11 possessions. He's kicked a goal.
He's got a mattress on that knee.
Well, yeah. Well, it's all been cleared by the AFL.
Braun from 35 metres. He's missed. Well, I was down at Geelong when Chris Mainwaring did his knee. We see Jakovic going down the race, so it's been a long time getting back into the action. But just great to hear that applause as he came onto the ground.
Well, I was at Cardinia Park yesterday and saw Tony Modra find some form. Always great to see good players get back and excite crowds. And Modra and Mainwaring, 2 of the best in the last decade. On the outer side, ball goes up and takes the good grab. Decent ball. Right half forward. Eagles leading it by 5 points. Less than 5 minutes to go to half-time. Ball in 2 minds. Now he chips inside the 50. Lewis sneaks away from his marker, Tawney, and takes it on his chest. Well done. Important kick, this one.
Yes, and Jason Ball just starting to assert himself on the game too. He's had 10 possessions, 5 marks, and has controlled the ruck pretty well.
Lewis, who starred in the Western Derby a couple of weeks back. The breeze is running from his right to left. Or rather left to right, sorry. I hope the ball come back. He starts it out left, and the breeze does exactly that.
Well, that's his second,
Chris
Dennis.
Lewis.
Yep. That's his second. He started off with a couple of behinds, but he certainly worked his way back into the game here. And he's a player who can certainly just bob up and kick 2 or 3 for you with that experience. And again, just providing that lead inside 50 at about 30-35 metres. The hole was there for him to run into. Great finishing from the outer side.
Two goals to Chris Lewis, the Eagles by 11 points. Taken away by Callaway, pumps it forward, Morrison. Such an important player for the Eagles. Just gets better and better. Nichols just onto the ground. He's got wonderful foot skills down towards the half-forward line. And we see the ball trickle over the line for a boundary throw-in. Let's go down to the boundary line. Here's Barra.
Thanks, KB. Yes, Jakovic's injury is a right ankle and calf problem, the same problem he had earlier in the year where he missed a lot of footy, so a big concern for the Eagles. And when Maney came on, mate, a standing ovation. Biggest comeback since Doug Hawkins at the Whitten Oval, I reckon.
Nichols inside 50. Morrison does well. Kicks it off the ground. Gehrig just happy to paddle the ball over the line.
Yes, and Andrew Donnelly finding himself on a half-back flank at the moment too, with Mitchell White going to full forward. Alongside Chris Lewis, Fuster down to centre half forward.
It's a fair knee brace on Chris Mainwaring's knee as Gehrig to the front of the pack. Reid, such an impressive young player, back towards centre wing. Callaway, tough, durable, beaten this time by Heady. Feeds the ball out to the running Banfield, who can run up towards the half forward line. Wanted to give it to Mainwaring, runs to 50. Long bomb. It's off target. Deserved better, and through for a behind. And Matthew Knight seems to be in trouble also on the boundary line on centre wing.
He's got to come up for the blood rule. He's got one in the nose, or certainly in the mouth anyway.
That's a blow to the Tigers. He's had 15 possessions. And Broderick comes back on. Barra?
Yeah, definitely a whack in the nose for Matthew Knight. It's a bit of a backhander, accidental, and will get plugged up.
Got to say, Drew Banfield is the consummate team play. He wanted to give him
exactly.
a kick,
Yep.
didn't he?
Yep.
It wasn't a decoy. He honestly wanted to give him the ball. He was denied by Gale. Another Gale is beaten. That's by Ball. Ball has taken the mark on the outer side, right half forward. Chips it in short again. Mitchell White comes on the lead. So the forwards presenting, and they're getting away now. Mitchell White, slight angle, about 35 metres out from goal.
Yes, they finally worked out West Coast. Finally, when I say that, can we see the incident with Knight just copying an accidental one on the snoz? They found some space now. That crowding by Richmond has certainly been sorted out by West Coast.
Mitchell White kicks. Kicks well. Suddenly they've skipped away.
Yes, important goals here in time on for West Coast, just to assert themselves late in this second quarter with their share of the footies. You see Matthew Knight here just having that nose attended to. And the quality starting to show a bit. Once they find that space, disposal coming inside the 50 been very good, and the finishing of both Lewis and White as good as you'd like.
Six-goal second quarter to the Eagles. Matthew Knight's getting some treatment in the dugout. Banfield back towards centre half forward. Loose ball. Cousins runs onto the ball, beaten by his teammate, this time in Braun. Cousins keeps on running. Danger here for the Tigers. Centres the ball, looking for Lewis. Traps it magnificently. Back to Heady. Two old heads combined. Here's a goal coming up in the goal square. Picked up by Fuster and bangs it through. 2 goals to Brendan Fuster.
And pace is such an ally, isn't it, when you've got people like Braun and Cousins just bursting from the centre. If you do actually get the advantage of the centre break, Braun outran Cousins, Cousins ran forward, received the ball then from Braun, then Lewis just in front with those skills once more, Heady in front of him, and then Fuster just left alone in the square there. That support from Simmons didn't need it.
Well, I think the rope-a-dope is coming unglued now. They've got their problems. 3 men getting in behind the defence there. So half-time, they need to regroup the Tigers. It's all the Eagles. Reed out of the middle, kicking them down towards half-forward. Fuster fingertips to the ball. It goes Mainwaring after 16 months. Takes a swing at the ball and missed it. Opportunity for Gale then. Gale along the ground towards the outer side. Braun gets back. He's been very busy. Off the top to Banfield. Short one is on to White. Up he goes. Had it knocked away down there by Turner. Broderick missed White. At close quarters it came to Lewis. Lewis hand passes out wide, but a throw is called. Free kick will go, I think, to Tawney down there. Lewis having a few words to umpire Nash, but Tawney's got the footy. The Eagles have got the lead. It's 24 points now in the context of this game. That's substantial. A minute to go to half-time. Gale, who's tried very hard, stretches up, takes the mark. That's been a good duel. Gale and ball to Bauer. Bauer down towards centre half forward. Worsfold reaches over the top, knocked it away from Bowden. Chance here for Morrison, playing the percentages, cycles it out towards the wing. Up comes Campbell. Nice deflection, gets it across to Ryan. Ryan back to Bowden. Bowden over the shoulder. Bounced obligingly for Campbell. Campbell about 80 metres from goal. Spears it in low. That was no mark. Well, a whistle went. Not sure who blew it. Evans has got it. Hand passes towards the line. Umpire Carey may have blown the whistle, then called play on. I'm not sure you can do that.
Yes,
Boundary's right outside the 50.
Well, we can't hear the whistle on the replay, but he certainly did blow it and then realised he'd made the mistake because the ball had hit the ground, so he called play on.
It was a little tweet.
So a chance for the Tigers. Time clock ticking away. Under 30 seconds left. Gale does well. That's a great grab.
Knight's back on. Broderick off. Here's Knight's in the action.
Just pumps the ball back to 50. Here comes Aaron James. Got his hands on the Sharon. Quick snap by Harrison. Marked. Last line of defence by McIntosh. Well, he's been the consummate professional this year at fullback, playing game number 150. Donnelly's got the ball as the siren sounds. A tough first half, a brave Richmond, but at half-time, the Eagles 18-58 by 24 points. The Tigers 5-4-34.
Yes, and again, that important period, that last 5 or 6 minutes in time on, where West Coast just asserted themselves once more, took full opportunity, the effort to get inside 50, scored the goals, and find themselves now with a comfortable 24-point break.
Houston's got a couple of goals, likewise Chris Lewis, all singles the remainder. Not too often you see the West Coast Eagles boot 7 goals in a quarter, but they did that right there. The umpires getting a hostile reception. At halftime, the West Coast Eagles have pulled away. They're up by 24 points. They lead 8-10 to 5-4. Three games, their last two by 70 points and 59 points. This afternoon they're playing Carlton at the MCG. Here are some highlights.
Over the back, Fraser Brown, he's working hard as he always does. Now it's at half forward with White. They've got the loose man. Steve Silvani for his second. Handballs over the top. Rice, an open goal. What a start for the Blues.
The advantage will be paid. Pickett from Harvey. Can the Saints get the goal that they desperately need now? A couple of bounces from the defender. or normal defender. Not a great kick. Thompson has to punch to the front. Low, snaps and goals. Terrific footy. McLaren. Low in front of Koutafidis. Mitchell, quick again pass to Thompson. Thompson has a snap at goals and he's got it. They could nail them, the Saints. Well, they might be home. Koutafidis. Kuta from the centre. Down to Silvani. A little bit too high for him. Takes the hand pass from Whitnell. Thanks very much. And pops it through for another one to Carlton. Ratton, Bradley, Brown. Well, they've been the three. And here's another one. Oh, look at that. What a mark, Sauce. One-hander. And Max Hutchton just ponders. Kicking for goal. Missed a couple of, well, I won't say sitters, but ones that he should have kicked. That's as straight as a die as well. If it's got the carry, it has. It's a goal.
And it's in the final term of the MCG, and Carlton on top, 16-16, 112 to St Kilda. In all sorts of trouble, looking at their fourth straight loss, 12-14, 86. Stephen Silvani has booted 5 for the Blues. Stuart Blow back this afternoon for the Saints has got 4 goals. And if you'd like a copy of that game, what you've got to do, in fact that game or any game, simply name a game. There's the number to call, 1-800-035-665. Watch them when you want to, 1-800-035-665. Of course, grand final day is September 26. You have a chance to be out there in the middle, tossing the coin.
How would you like to toss the coin at this year's grand final? $2 could make this possible. Entry coupons are available from Australia Post and Rotary Clubs, or by calling 1-900-957-004 for credit card purchases. As well as tossing the coin, you and a friend will watch the grand final in style, attend a grand final brunch, and keep the $10,000 specially minted gold coin. Then in January next year, enjoy 5 sessions of the Australian Open Tennis. Proceeds benefit Australian Rotary and the Olympic Games team.
And grand final day now less than 7 weeks away. The West Coast Eagles premiers in 92 and 94. The Tigers last won a premiership in 1980. Halftime at Subiaco Oval, the Eagles leading the Tigers by 24 points. Back with more shortly. It's round 20 and the countdown continues to find the Cadbury Mark of the Year. Here's the latest from this morning's footy panel.
Mark A. Matthew Richardson of Richmond. Mark B. Winston Abraham of North Melbourne at the MCG.
Well, he'll get people to the footy.
Mark C. Wayne Carey.
Second last in line there, just forced his way through.
Let's have a look at that mark again.
And has taken a very strong mark.
Mark D is Lee Colbert, Geelong.
Contender for the Cadbury's Mark of the Year, that one.
And our final contender, Tony Modra, Adelaide.
Oh, well, it's not as high.
And those contenders again, Mark A, Matthew Richardson of Richmond, Mark B, Winston Abraham of North Melbourne, Mark C, Wayne King Carey of North Melbourne, Mark D, Lee Colbert of Geelong, and Mark E, Tony Modra, Adelaide Crows.
And now for your chance to win. See if you can pick which of those contenders the panel will choose as the Cadbury AFL Mark of the Week. If your selection is the first correct entry drawn next week, you'll win a family trip to see your AFL team play at a state. Just send any 2 Cadbury wrappers in a standard envelope with your name, address and selection on the back to Cadbury AFL Mark of the Year, Lot Bag 100, Pennant Hills, New South Wales 17771. On weekdays, you can hear the contenders again by ringing 1902 555 693 or by contacting our website. The Cadbury AFL Mark of the Year.
Great to see Tony Modra back in form. 9 marks, 6 goals at Cardinia Park yesterday. I dare say he'll crack a mention tomorrow night on Talking Footy. Our special guest is the Hawthorn coach, and they're on a winning streak too. Kenny Judge will be on the couch. Check those times around the country: 10:20 Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth. The others you can see: Tasmania, Queensland, Sydney and Brisbane. Half-time here at Subiaco Oval. The West Coast Eagles up by 24 points. We'll be back with more right after the break.
From half-time to the third quarter of football action. From Subiaco Oval, it's West Coast and Richmond.
Yes, and the West Coast Eagles lead it by 24 points, finishing that second term very strongly. Lewis has 2 goals, Fewster 2, and singles to Cousins, Braun, White and Morrison. And for the Tigers, singles all to Prescott, Bowden, Harrison, James and Ryan.
7 Sports hope you're enjoying this match in the 1998 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season.
The Tigers are back on the ground, the umpires are coming out, and Adrian Barrage is talking with an injured Eagle, Daniel Metropolis. Adrian?
Yes, thank you, Dennis. Well, you've been in the rooms, Daniel. Feeling a bit better, I guess, after that second quarter.
Yeah, they're very, very positive down there in the rooms now. Obviously, the first quarter wasn't as good as we liked. We had a lot of the play and didn't convert to goals, but of course the second quarter was good, and they just wanted to keep positive, keep moving the ball forward quickly, and hopefully some more goals will come.
What's going on with your forward line? The conversion rate has been bad, well, probably over the whole year, but your style of play is to grind a team down, though, isn't it?
It is more that way. We've been defensive, I suppose that's the way Mick is, and but of course it's a bit of a concern. We tend to come out 1 goal 4 or 2 goals 6, I think, as it was, and it'd be nice if it was the other way around to give us a bit of breathing space.
Well, your first quarters have been the problem, haven't they?
They have, yeah. It's something we're very conscious of. We want to get away to good starts, but to Richmond's credit, they came out and hit us with everything, and I think they went in quarter time leading. So we just, as I said, got to keep progressing, going forward, and get it in quick.
You got to hand it to the Tigers, don't you? Though they just have a crack.
Oh, they sure do. I mean, obviously they've come over with quite an injury-depleted list, and but to their full credit, you're right. The young blokes are all having a real red-hot go, and it's really putting it up to our guys. So we've got to make sure we keep going and push ahead in this premiership quarter.
Now, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint individual actions that lift a team, but Fraser Garrick's hit on Nathan Bauer. Did you think that maybe lifted the team a bit?
Well, it did, and I think also when Maney came back on, that was fantastic. I think everyone in the whole arena here, the hairs on the back of the neck stood up, and it's great to have him out there. And of course, for Fraser's confidence, we need him getting the ball. He's been a little bit down, so a good hit like that can lift his confidence and get him going.
So more grinding in the second half?
Well, I think that might be the case, yeah.
Okay, back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Adrian. Daniel's dad, Peter, very good player for Subiaco, won number 8 as well. As we take a look at these numbers, speaking of numbers, what do they tell us?
Well, they certainly show that West Coast have had about 25 more possessions overall throughout the course of the game. That's showing on the scoreboard. Centre breaks, Brendan Gale and Jason Ball having a good duel, although I think Jason Ball holds sway particularly around the ground. And inside 50 kb, West Coast getting in there more often, but as we said in that first quarter, a little bit wasteful in front of goal, and so far no 50-metre penalties.
We talked earlier about the players missing, certainly from the forward line for the Tigers. A bit like a who's who. Today it's more like a who's he. Richardson, Ben Holland, Platt, Miranda, Powell, all players who could start on the forward line, missing today. Have I missed any?
They've kicked over 100 goals between them this season.
It's just tough, isn't it?
Yes, and of course we have, did you mention Gasper too, Dennis?
Well,
for the backup, he has gone forward on occasions and has provided something for them.
Started the second half.
Well, starting with Ottens in the ruck and Gale at centre-half forward, and Aaron James at full forward with Evans, so a little bit bigger up forward.
Bounce from umpire Ackland, missed by Daffy, who goes after it again. Had a push in the back, no, Matera down on his knees. Eventually it spills wide. Bauer smothered off the boot by Simmons. Matera knocks it back, taken by Ball, prods it out towards the outer side. Morrison in space now. Morrison twisting, turning, little chip. Here's Hetty running hard and running well. Mainwaring is loose down this side of the ground. He's getting in behind the forwards as the kick short. White missed it. Bad luck for the Eagles because Mainwaring was about 40 metres in the clear, a kick away. Meantime, away comes Turner. This crowd will go berserk when Mainwaring gets his first touch. Reed picks it up to Morrison. Morrison gets it across to McKenna. McKenna, short one is on. Matera lets it bounce in front. Now he backs off Bauer. The short one is on. Great finesse there. Finds Cousins. Banfield calling for it down the field. Banfield unchecked on the wing. Now he's away. He's about 65 metres out from goal. Sets it up. Kellaway has to wait. Going back, the mark is taken by Ryan. Well done. Ryan, deep in his own defensive area. Recently turned 21. Goes to another youngster, even younger, Ottens, at left half back.
And he certainly has a bright future, Ottens. Good to see him having run on the ball. I think Gale at centre up forward is his target. Tigers look a little bit better up on the forward line at the moment. Donnelly inside the centre square towards the half forward line. Simmons running with a flight. Great mark. Took a lot of courage. Mitchell White. That lead's been ignored. Ottens is getting back in the square. Mitchell White was ignored, but he finds Heady.
Yeah, so when they were able to do that in the second quarter, Kev, that's when they started to score their goals quite freely. They were sitting outside 50, possibly at say 70 metres. Someone dropping into that 30-metre area. And they were able to clear the Tigers defenders away, stop that flooding, and they opened up their forward line pretty well, so the players had shots at goal from this distance, and they're doing it again now.
That inclusion into the side, started on the bench. 14 goals for the season. One of the veterans for the Eagles. 152nd game today. 35 metres out. Brett Heady directly in front, drills it.
And full compliments there to Paul Simmons too, as Kevin said, just an outstanding mark to go back with the flight of the ball. He knew a leading player was coming toward him with his opponent right behind. You won't see that mark on replay, but that's the kick that he effected from the mark. It was his effort that set that up for goal.
So the West Coast Eagles increased their lead. They're out by 30 points now. Talking about those injuries to the Tigers. Not too many Eagles missing this afternoon. Banfield kicking it down towards half forward. Cousins trying to help the ball on its way. Spills wide. In trouble as Knights. Lost it. Daffy's over the ball. Merging with it in there and doing very well was Fewster to knock it wide. Braun paddles it towards the line. And across it goes. Dean Kemp, of course, a big example as far as the Eagles are concerned and who's missing. Was injured against North Melbourne, shoulder. If you think back to round 5, the last time these two sides met, it was crunched against the Tigers as well. Ball dragged down. Now the free kick will go to Ball. Broderick could have been taken high. He can't work it out, but it was unrelated to him. So Ball's got the footy on the wing. 5 goals up. Looking pretty good, the West Coast Eagles. Ball inside the 50. Heady is there. White goes up for it though. Banfield waiting behind. Banfield finds some space, turns around and kicks a goal.
Well, Drew Banfield not particularly renowned for that sort of play in the forward area. He's usually out stopping someone, not really going for the ball in the forward 50, but this was just beautiful roving. Deserved a goal, got inside. Ball actually had Braun short. We might have just seen at the bottom of the screen there. Went long. Watch Banfield come through. Just took it up beauty. Favoured his left boot. People still don't work that out with left footers. I don't know why it is. They can always get free on that left side. Good finish.
Drew Banfield's first goal. The Eagles by 36 points. The chant goes around Subiaco. Just broke the tackle. Just rolled the shoulders, Roscoe. It's a strong individual. Ball in the ruck. Taken away by Ottens. Tigers inside 50. Going to ground. Might have been a push out, not paid. Aaron James thought he got a shove. Bowden. All tied up by Donnelly. Carries the ball towards the half forward line. Rockets it wide looking for Gale. The tackle was a good one. That was by Mainwaring. Listen to the roar go around the ground. Banfield caught by Knights. Heads towards the boundary line. They'll toss it back in. So every time Chris Mainwaring goes near the ball, big roar goes up, Roscoe.
Well, he's got the touch he wanted. He's got his handball away. Got a tackle.
It probably doesn't sound as loud to him because that knee brace muffles the sound.
It's like a slumber kick, isn't it?
I'm just waiting till he kicks it. Broderick pumps the ball back to centre half forward. McIntosh has got Gale to beat. Ricochets back in the arms of Bowden. Goes towards the goal square. Plenty of carry on the ball. Not the accuracy. And through for a behind.
It's like running in a padded cell.
So West Coast by 35 points.
10-10-5-5. Trevor Nisbet, very much the power behind the throne. Astute man when it comes to recruiting. Mainwaring goes back, and that was almost out of his reach. Got his hand to it. Across the line. It wasn't an easy ball. So throw in. Gale and McIntosh fell behind them. Broderick confronted, gets the hand pass away to Gale. Gale goes off his step. Good use of the ball. Evans getting away from Worsfold. That's a good matchup though for John Worsfold. Evans has been in pretty good form. It's been well held.
Yes, he likes to bustle his way around the forward line, does Evans. He's made his match in that area.
Very important kick, this one. They trail by 35 points. We saw Lewis get a goal from about here earlier. Needs to start it just to the left, about 5 metres out from goal, and let the Breeze push it back. And he's done that to good effect, I think. That's a marvellous kick. Goal.
I think he's mic'd up, Dennis. That was beautifully educated there. A perfect kick there. Had to get that through, as you said, because they were lagging. It just gives them some little hope here to keep in touch. So we're getting blown away in the early part of this quarter. And all the running with West Coast at the moment, they just need to stand tall and try and match up and stop this flow. That goal will help that.
First goal to Evans, known as the Birdman. Wants to be a tattooist inside the centre square. Reid puts his body on the line. Short kick towards centre half forward. Knights all bandaged up. Took a heavy knock just before half time. Bullis heads towards centre wing. Callaway traps it well. Finds the running Daffy. Keen to take on Banfield inside 50. So danger here for the Eagles. Chance for the Tigers at the back. Worsfold cool under pressure. Finds McKenna, the old firm back in action. Kicks a poor one. It's been marked by Chaffee.
Chaffee just came through the interchange gates, I think, and suddenly presented himself, didn't he?
Knights breaks the tackle of Braun. It's been very good for the Tigers. And chipping in is Gehrig. Concedes ground, back to Donnelly, back to Matera. Casual bounce. He's had Bauer to beat all day, short to McIntosh. Superb season, back towards the edge of the centre square. Bullis, the big fist from behind. Simmons has been good today. He's going to rock on the ball wide. Here comes Mainwaring, 65 metres out, heads for goal. Into the goal square, great mark. Mitchell White not paid. Finally pushed through by Ryan.
Might have come back a better kick. Only kidding.
You'll be pleased to hear you say that.
That wasn't a bad one for your first one. There's Ryan up from the back pocket. Tawney on for the short one. Low down, made it awkward. Banfield got in there. Tawney recovers under extreme duress. Was taken high. Advantage is played, and Daffy comes away. Spears it towards centre field. Chaffee rather worked under it. Coming through is Gale, but Chaffee will get the free. It was pushed in the back by McKenna. So Chaffee looks for the leading James, and James has been prepared to come on the lead. He's had about 3 set shots at goal. He's converted once.
Yes, there's no question when he has presented himself, Dennis, they've been prepared to look for him. And if a couple of kicks had been just a little bit higher their trajectory, he would have had a couple of extra marks, but nevertheless, another chance at goal.
He's obviously quick because Gehrig, the man on him, is fast. He pulled away from Gehrig. He kicks from right on the 50. I think it's okay. It is. He's got his second goal. That was a big kick.
Well, I was going to say, Dan, it's just his 5th game for the season for the Tigers. He does owe them something. He's been given a second chance by them, and there's a good chance here to just stand up and be a target up forward. He's a big fellow. He can be used at centre half forward if necessary. I'm not sure if he has the capacity physically to get around at centre half forward on a regular basis, but doing this sort of thing is what they'd be requiring from him.
Two goals to Aaron James. The Tigers creep a little bit closer. They trail by 24 points. So a chance for James to make a mark here today. Without Richardson, without Plapp on the forward line, he gets an opportunity, just playing his 5th game for the Tigers. Matera's got 2 to beat. Takes it over. And sometimes, Roscoe, you just need an opportunity with a couple of players out to...
Exactly, to be able to show your wares and know that you can play a couple of games comfortably without being taken off the ground. Barra?
News on Glenn Jakovic has remained in the rooms at half-time for treatment on a right calf ankle problem, and probably, almost definitely, won't see him for the rest of the day.
Braun back towards the half-forward line. Heady. Lewis has pounced on it. He's going to drill this through. Across the face of goals. Shaves the post and through for a behind. I thought he might have looked for the leading Mitchell White.
Well, I think that was probably the better option. Brendan Gale now coming down to have a run on the ball. Harrison going to centre half forward.
72 plays 47. Bauer on screen picking up Matera. Turner kicks the ball wide. Gale should take the mark and does. It's a long way down from centre half forward. Young Ottens is in the ruck. Harrison back on the field for the Tigers. He's the target in front. Got pushed out.
Was Bowden by Donnelly there, KB.
So Bowden will take the free kick. Was benched early in the first quarter, came back on and kicked the goal in the second term. So we can see that push there to the half forward line. James is the target. Got his big frame in front. He does well. Draws the ball back towards centre half forward. Reed read it well. Then tumbles the ball back towards the centre wing. Matera overruns the ball. Bullis with quick hands finds Bauer, who goes short to Prescott. On the point of the centre square, the Tigers mounting a charge. Kicks a high ball inside 50. Out comes Mainwaring. They juggle it. Donnelly claims it. Gave it back to Morrison, to Worsfold, who kicks to space. Heady. Can he get there ahead of Knights? Finally forced over the line.
Eagles lead by 25 points. Matthew Knights, he's tried hard, but obviously the worse for wear. We saw that collision with Heady's elbow approaching half-time. Campbell runs into a dead end, supplied by Heady. The ball up.
Yes, Drew Banfield with the job to run with him in this quarter as well. Much more experienced player at that. Gating tactics.
Just get the feeling now the Eagles in total control. Richmond needs something to happen for them. Something spectacular. A few quick goals. Reed hand passes to Ball. Ball goes with the outside of the boot through the legs of Knight. Socket off the ground by Banfield. Down towards the attacking 50. Heady will arrive first. Sockers the ball to his own advantage, or tried to. White comes up. Heady runs on. Great Shepherd. Meantime it comes back to Cousins. He was dragged down. Great tackle by Knights. Turner got it across to Prescott. Prescott found Bauer. Bauer forward of half-back. Chips it back towards the middle and Bowden. Good footy from both clubs there. Tigers not to be denied. McKenna goes back and takes the mark across half-back. His ninth possession. Kicking out wide. Mainwaring's got it. McKenna, the season's high, 30 against Collingwood in round 2 in terms of possessions. Coming away on the outer side is White, kicking it well inside the 50. Knocked down by Ryan, picked up by Heady, tackled by Kellaway, running into an open goal. Simmons spins out of one tackle, turns around and kicks a goal.
Well, how often do you see that with West Coast? McKenna just chipping in across half-back to intercept the pass coming from the centre area to an opposition forward player. Intercepts, gets the ball to Mayweather in the outer wing, who quickly got onto White, who was clear. And then Brett Heady just kicking towards their advantage here, just as he was tackled. And Simmons evades the tackle from Kellaway, keeps his feet, kicks the goal.
The Eagles by 31 points. 9 individual goal kickers to the Eagles today. Gale takes it out of mid-air. Quick kick back towards the half-forward line. It was thumped forward. Chaffee the tackler. Reed, fine young player. It's great under pressure. Tumbles the ball forward. Kellaway got a bad bounce. Campbell feeds it off to Knights. What a tackle it was for Knights across half-back. That was inspirational stuff a few moments ago. Out towards Daffy. Knights runs on. Great interception by Matera. Bit of magic. Matera on the half-forward line. Showed it to Campbell. Gets it back to Heady. The run of Lewis. Vintage Eagles to Simmons. Squeezed up on the bounds line. He's going to run into the open goal.
Well, that's
got it. Magnificent play.
Yeah, that's teamwork at its best, KB. The intercept here by Matera too is the important one. It's a handball trying to be shared around by... Here we see Daffy tries to go inside to a teammate. Perhaps the kick might have been better. Matera the intercept, gets it back again. Then Lewis, Simmons combining. And Simmons allowed by Lewis to go on and kick the goal.
Ooh. just over 9 minutes till three-quarter time. The Eagles up 84-47. That was terrific by the West Coast Eagles. Great finish by Simmons, banking on his skills, and they got him through okay. Cousins, another skillful Eagle, couldn't control it. Knight's right there. And during the commercial break, a bit happening, a bit of heat between Campbell and Lewis. It happened off the ball there. So we've got a bounce inside the centre square. Campbell had reason to be upset. Over the ball, Braun hasn't got it, surely. No free kick. Prescott working overtime, and we've got a bounce still inside the centre square. Michael Braun from Echuca via Bendigo, re-signed with the Eagles this week. Number 10 has been in pretty good form, and again today, 16 possessions. Daffy hurriedly straight up in the air. They come from all directions. Ball battles there with Tawney. Another bounce from David Ackland working overtime. 84-47. It's getting away from the Tigers now. A sorry record against the Eagles in Perth, likely to continue as Campbell slaps it out wide. Daffy dragged down, but they're under men. They're trying hard. You can't fault them in that regard. Morrison got it out to Mainwaring. The hand pass comes to Simmons, to Cousins. Cousins running to half forward. Reid, Kellaway on a collision course. Kellaway is down and hurt. And will get the free kick. Well, that was great courage by Kellaway.
Yes, it was accidental contact too by Reid. He just there was no way known he wasn't going to make contact, but because it was just a bit high, the umpire plays the free kick.
Daffy's away then on the outer side, kicking long towards half forward. McKenna looks around and takes what was a classical mark. That was just terrific. They were coming from all directions. He knew where they were all coming from, had them covered, and as a result marked and made it look so easy. Mainwaring, was he held without it? No free kick. Broderick comes away. Broderick outside the 50, kicks towards the pocket. Gehrig hit the ground running. Comes away from half back. Long kick towards half forward. Kellaway over the top of Lewis. Waiting in front is Bowden. Feeds it across to Knights. Knights kicks towards Gale. Now Gale has it inside the centre square. Brendan Gale, certainly one of the best Tigers this afternoon. Gehrig under the ball again. In that sweeper's role, McKenna gets by one. Evans hit him hard. Jarred the ball out. McIntosh under pressure. Feeds it back to Worsfold. He's had a good game to Matera. Morrison is breaking for him. Plenty of space in front of Morrison, and that's where the ball goes.
The old firm working well. Matera and Worsfold. Morrison short to Banfield. Been very good today and drills it to Lewis on centre wing. They're coming from everywhere. Simmons has been a real live wire on the forward line. Bit of 2 goals in this third term. The Eagles by 37 points. A stagnant forward line now for the Eagles. Screaming for the ball was Donnelly. He was being ignored. Here comes Mitchell White. Got it. Still 55 metres out. It's been set up to Donnelly. It was clever play in the end, Roscoe.
Well, I thought they'd hang on for too long because he had a couple of options to kick to before he found White, and White was in the spot where a couple of other players had led to who were as clear as he was once he received the ball. But the White-Donnelly combination, of course, we've spoken about many times in years gone by, has been as good as they've had across half forward. Donnelly and he spent some time across half back today. Good running by Donnelly now to set himself up for a goal.
Yet to kick a goal. He's kicked 10 for the season. So Donnelly from 30 metres out pops it through.
And he becomes now their 10th goal kicker. Just a good combination, those two players. And I think Donnelly will now stay across half forward. And look at that congestion as the Simmons kick comes in. White, the only one really to make a definite move after a couple of early leads were ignored, and then Donnelly just running on into that extra space.
So the West Coast Eagles lead it now by 43 points, and the crowd in pretty good voice, charging through. Gale lifted behind though. Ball kicks it straight up in the air. They circle around it. Ball follows up his own kick and knocks it down towards half forward, and Heady almost holding the ball. Play on's the call. Vaughan, who's been terrific, gets it away to Matera. Matera spears the pass into Fuster. And they're doing much as they like now. Braun is running on. Well, Lewis led to him, which wasn't the right thing to do. Fuster, meantime, ignores all of that and heads for home and kicks a goal from outside the 50. He's got 3.
Well, I think he virtually had to kick it, Dennis, because he had a couple of options for him. I think you're right, Lewis did jam up Braun's lead, but even so, the kick from Fuster just outstanding, and that's what he can provide for you. The one coming in from Matera, just outstanding, just lace up, didn't have to move, and ball control, beautiful to watch.
The Eagles stretch the lead to 49 points. Ball. It's got Gale to beat. Knights been playing a lone hand. Pumps the ball back inside 50. Big fist away by Fraser Gehrig. Pounced on by McIntosh. Loose ball. Chance for Campbell. Missed it. Tawney breaks the tackle. And kicks a goal.
One thing I must say about Richmond today, on some of those occasions they have gone forward, they've been quite efficient when they've got there. It's just they've broken down like just around half forward. Once they've got up in about the 30-metre mark, they've actually been able to get either a score on the board or look pretty dangerous. The punch coming through from Gehrig was good, but then the tackle laid, can't pick up who it was that Evans on McIntosh, just outstanding. Pressure there, ball spills free, goal results.
Only 6 to 53. Knights again involved in the build-up. 22 possessions now. Gale hooks it down behind. Daffy off a step, kicking towards half forward. Worked out of it down there was Harrison on his knees and getting the ball out. McIntosh straight to Knights, who appeared again. Dragged off the ball well by Reid though. Hurriedly across the ground by Worsfold, and it bounces out of bounds at right half-back.
Yes, and Jeff Gushin has taken the pressure off Wayne Campbell with Simmons being so dangerous up forward. He's now put him into a forward pocket. Simmons has gone with him as the back pocket player.
I was talking with Jeff during the week. He knew this was going to be a tough one. Undermanned and their record in Perth. They've tried so valiantly today, but they need to hang on now. Percentage to lose this will be vitally important. Morrison comes away, running up towards the middle, waiting for Reid to peel off, almost demanding he did. Now Reid can run inside the 50. Well, he kicks from just outside, popping it up. Look for Heady to fly from behind. Now he stayed on the ground, hooked back by Ryan across the line of behind.
I think Brett Heady wanted to jump, Dennis, but he found the ball just dropping a bit too quickly for him. He wasn't going to be able to get there in time to make a decent effort to mark from behind. He just brushed his shoulder to go through for that behind.
Scotty Turner bring the ball back for the Tigers. Just beckoning for someone to lead out towards this wing. He's looking for Bullis. Gale was there as well. Cousins has won a lot of the ball today. Just gets better and better. Back towards the half-forward line. Callaway does the defensive work. Thumped it forward. Well rowed by Mitchell White. Danger here for the Tigers. Fuster tries to juggle it. Turner. We're happy to see it go over the line.
How do you call that?
Oh, well, you don't. Obviously, the umpire couldn't work out who was holding who.
He knew there was something going on down there.
Fuster to do the ruck work. Just backhands it. Daffy from the back pocket. Kicks the ball wide. Out on the full. He was trying to kick the touch, but just had too much carry on the ball. Had no one out there to kick it to. Morrison. Fine young player. Kicked the goal in the second quarter. Goes short to Donnelly. He finds the running Simmons, who's come all the way down from the back pocket. Because he's picking up Wayne Campbell, who's been moved to the forward pocket. Simmons to Mitchell White.
It's a terrific bit of blocking too by Chris Lewis to allow White to get free. He just took his man out as White made the lead.
So Mitchell White from 60 metres goes for home and bangs it through. It's a push out.
Against Fuster on Brendan Gale. Is it Fuster or ball, Dennis?
Let's have a look at it.
Ball, I think. No, it might have been Fuster, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right.
No, ball.
Certainly got a shove.
You know what I mean.
Knights in the back pocket.
Any more hard questions, Ross?
I was going to say, what ask you again?
Matthew Knights. 23 possessions. Good mark to Bowden. Had an interrupted season. He's got a lot of talent. Just hasn't quite put it together this year. Between wing and half back. Goes down towards the point of the square. Campbell was the high flyer. Simmons played on him all day. Hurried kick around the corner. Bowden. Must have got the word that time from Bullis to the running Knights. Drills it. It's a poor kick. Been marked by Matera at half back. Transfer wide. Main Waring. The roar goes around Subiaco. To Donnelly. Just needs a kind bounce. Unfortunately for the Eagles, beats him over the line. Let's go down to Barra.
KB, just in defence of Wayne Campbell, Richmond have told me he has got a sore right knee that he hurt this quarter, but Simmons has been giving him the run around, but he is carrying a right knee apparently. Gale deflects it down. Reid, bargain he's proven to be. 60th man taken in the draft. Inside the forward 50 for the Eagles. Socket off the ground by Knights and across the line. Crowd wanting a free kick for Heady. Heady obviously wanting a free kick for Heady, claiming he was held. Nothing doing. David Ackland asserting himself. Turner goes up and thumps it down. Taken high, an Eagle player there in Heady. Well, not the time to want a kick as the ball goes around the outer side from Daffy. Coming up is Campbell. Just after you've given the umpire spray, you're not likely to get borderline kicks. Gale the mark, Daffy the fumble, runs through midfield though. Daffy kicking to half forward, beautiful pass. Sort of.
I think it surprised Timmendale, Dennis, and he had no idea it was coming toward him.
Timmendale 65 metres out, senses a vacant square. Well, Gehrig did too, and Gehrig gets back to take the mark. Into the path of McIntosh, playing game number 150. Came to the Eagles in 1989 under the father and son rule. Here's Cousins. His dad played for Geelong. He's got the ball on the outer side. Similar situation, wasn't it? With Cousins.
Correct.
Ball down towards half forward. Kellaway was up. Head down is Ryan. Almost got it free. Knights twisting, turning across half back. Throws it on the boot. It floats out wide. Going back is Kellaway. Takes the mark on the siren. 6 goals in that term for the West Coast Eagles. So been a little bit different today, and as much as they got 7 goals in the second quarter, now 6 in the third. 27 scoring shots to three-quarter time. One of their best efforts on the season, I'd suggest, and they're up by a big margin now. The lead is 44 points after they led by 24 at half-time. The West Coast Eagles are 14-13, and the Richmond Tigers are 8-5.
Now the vital final term, as West Coast do battle with Richmond. Let's get on with the action.
Yes, three-quarter time, and the West Coast Eagles lead 14-13 to 8-5, so the margin is 44 points. Brendan Fuster has booted 3 goals and 2 apiece to Simmons. Very good term, that last one for him. In fact, his day generally has been pretty good, and Chris Lewis has 2, and for the Tigers, Aaron James has booted 2. Now, let's check that game at the MCG. It's a final, it's in the book, and Carlton have done it again. The Giant Killers improved their record to 7-12 now. Silvani got 5 goals for the Blues. Stuart Lowe booted 4 for the Saints.
The 1998 AFL Premiership season brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. Victoria Bitter for a hard-earned thirst. Cadbury Mark of the Year, McDonald's Double Quarter Pounder with Cheese, and Mitsubishi Motors, the award-winning Magna.
Adrian Barrage is down on the boundary line. Adrian.
Thanks, Dan. Yes, Mick Malthouse spent the first part of that break with emergency umpire Grant Vernon, actually, just trying to clarify a few umpiring decisions in that quarter. Obviously very happy with the way his team are progressing, very animated. Of course, percentage is very important to them now because it could mean the difference between finishing 4th, 5th, 6th and so on. So obviously they're going to press their advantage. The Richmond guys, well, they won't throw it in. I think they'll rise again. They certainly have the spirit there. They definitely are undermanned, but Jeff Gershon just saying to them, we aren't out of this game. Let's have a crack for the next 30 minutes and just see what happens. The Eagles have faltered in the last quarter before. I mean, I think it's unlikely, but the Tigers won't throw it in. It's back up to you, Dan.
Thanks, Adrian. Well, that was a hallmark of the Eagles early in the season. They were squandering some big three-quarter time leads, but that has gone in recent times. Just looking at the Tigers, they finished with Brisbane at the MCG and Melbourne at the MCG, and that could be a big game. Every score vital now because so many teams locked in this battle for a place in the finals.
Fuster starting on the ball, Dennis. Both Mitchell White and Jason Ball on the bench, and Chris Lewis at full forward. So Fuster hit up the ruck in this last quarter.
Start of the final term at Subi, 14-13 to 8-5. Here's Daffy, who's tried hard in the centre square, boots it out wide to Bauer. Bauer goes down towards half forward and hangs in the air a long time. Gehry got a fist on that one towards the line. Worsfold left it behind. James coming through McIntosh. Well played twice. Picks it up now with some time across half back. The 150 gamer boots it towards centre field. Going back is Williams. He's a likely type. He's very adept at getting on the boot quickly and did it there. Turner comes across, covers the ball. He's at half back. Running for him is Bowden. That's the direction the kick takes. Bowden feeds it back towards the middle. This is Harrison.
Comes away from the edge of the centre square. Just in time, gets his kick inside 50. Daffy will have to go. He's got 2 to beat. McIntosh too tall. Couldn't quite take it. Daffy with a quick snap into the forward pocket, out on the full. 97 plays, 53.
21 possessions for Nick Daffy. I made the point before, KB, he's up by 8 possessions a game this season. I mean, that's just like recruiting an extra player, isn't it?
Well, he's got fitter during the pre-season. He wanted to play on the ball and be a midfield player, and his fitness this year has allowed it. From the last line of defence, the Eagles go wide, and Fuster thought he took the ball over. All kept in play. Gale goes short inside 50, but again the Eagles across half back. Cousins, who's becoming a running machine, to McIntosh, kicks the ball wide, looking for Williams, playing in front, the youngster. Finally the ball is taken over the line. They'll toss it back in. Barrett.
KB, just interesting, the Eagles forward line, they haven't got a tall forward. They've rested Ball and White both on the bench. Fuster's into the ruck, as Ross said, and Lewis and Hetty are the forwards at the moment.
Well, Reid was doing the ruck work that time against Gale, taken by Bauer. He's had an interesting duel with Matera. We see Fuster puts the ball over the boundary line on the full. It's been a handy player today, Fuster, who did 3 goals. And looks a likely type. Big and strong. A couple of very good marks today. So Tawney getting the hurry up from the half-back flank. Kicks down towards the edge of the centre square. Gale caught from behind. Fuster in front. Broderick struggled a bit today. Quick hands. Finds Harrison. Rockets the ball wide to Knight, who's been magnificent. Back to Evans. To the running Daffy. So the Tigers with a chance. 65 metres out. Heads for home. Open goal. They need a bounce. Taken through by Worsfold.
14-13, 8-6. Final term at Subi. Doubleheader Sunday. Melbourne winning the early one. Carlton winning the middle one. Now the West Coast Eagles on top here as Simmons drives it out wide. Reed takes it. He's away. Prescott chasing earnestly around the outer side, and a relayed free kick. Well, that is very soft. I'm not sure there was much to that at all. Prescott did make the mistake of touching Reed when there was no need, but other than that, there was nothing sinister there at all. Yet he's got the ball. It was just the barest of touches, and Reed was off balance, and I'm sure it didn't affect what happened next. But up ahead, wide-eyed, Brett Heddy has the ball, and right half forward. Brian Nash telling him to hurry up. So he finds a man in the middle. Good mark taken by Williams.
Yes, takes a very good overhead mark, does Andrew Williams, for his size, and presents quite a few options for the coaching staff, whether it be to run with player, cross half back, or moving forward. And he was a player who looked to be the most demanding with his lead for Brett Heddy. And that's why the ball came to him.
So Andy Williams. Kick from about 40 metres out. 14-13, 8-6. His side on top. This to increase the lead. He's done that, but by just a point. Missing by quite a margin way to the left.
Jason Ball on the boundary line, just a spectator. Turner. Tigers trail 98-54. So they're down by 44 points. McIntosh thumps the ball forward to 50, picked up by Braun.
Free kick to Ryan, though, against Matera. Umpire Mark Nash saying that he was held but didn't have the footy. Well, there's been quite a bit that happened today that hasn't been paid. Now we've plucked this one.
Damien Ryan, just in his third season of AFL football. And tidy passage of play. And free kick. Benny Gale. He's on the half-back flank. It's important the Tigers can finish off. Percentage is going to play a big part in the final 8. Thumped away that time by Williams. Chance for the Tigers. Ryan does well, got a good bounce, kicks the ball long. Backing back is Fraser Gehrig. Be happy to take it over. Got support, keeps it in to Morrison. Chip short to Simmons. He's been a good player today. 2 terrific goals in the third quarter. He's got the lead on from Main Waring. To the running Banfield. Carries the ball to centre wing. Wants to feed it off to Braun. The hand pass is a poor one. Morrison to the running McIntosh inside the centre square, under pressure. Kicks long back towards centre half forward. Lewis! He's given away the free kick. It's a mighty jump.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most difficult ones to read too. A screw kick from the left footer coming around the corner. It just runs away from you all the time. Just misjudged that completely.
Michael Gale to the running Harrison, across half back to the half forward line, finds Knights. Battled so hard today. Dropped a heavy knock as well in the second term. Kicks inside 50. Chaffee. Oh. That's a fine mark.
He's had limited possessions today, just the 3 2 and 1 in total. And earlier on the ball was kicked toward him a few times, but he couldn't control this time. Just a terrific leap, and to control it all the way down over Guy McKenna.
Well, this is his 10th game for the season. He's yet to kick a goal. Spent a year in America playing baseball and came back. Was picked up by the Tigers. So Chaffee, for his first goal for the season. He's got it.
Well, you certainly admire their spirit with the Tigers today. They have given it everything. They've been depleted, there's no doubt about that. And the dominance of West Coast, particularly late in the second quarter and then into that third, certainly caused to give them some trouble. 28 scoring shots to 15. But this goal here, Matthew Knights looked up. He had absolutely no one to kick to. He had to come back inside to a shorter player in Chaffee, to a good mark, and kicked a good goal.
Talk about the work rate of Matthew Knights. He was down in front of us chasing probably 3 Eagles players, one after the other, then suddenly ran across the ground and bobbed up, involved in that last goal. It's a credit to him.
And he's just given away a free kick, unfortunately, against him on Banfield. The play allowed to go on, and Reed goes forward.
I have to mention that. Reed 60 metres out. We were just singing his praises. Here's Lewis in the pocket.
Yes, well, he was going for a Torby for distance and it came off the outside of the boot. Chris Lewis was favoured by the kick. He was opening up the goal square for Reed. Here we see the Torb, the attempt.
He's probably still got ice on his ears after that last jump. He'll kick from about 25 metres out. Margin 38 points. And this is not beyond him. His wonderful skills. He kicked a goal from further out at a similar angle back in the second quarter. So he's got a feel for this one. But he's missed to the near side. Behind. 39 points now. Somebody say something. That's stretching the hammy. As Turner kicks in. The mark is held out there by Broderick. It's the left half back. 14-15 to 9-6.
Struggle to get the flow going today, Broderick. It was magnificent last week.
Thought you were saying up in the box.
Michael Gale at half-back. Ignores the lead from Harrison. Kicks back inside the centre square. Heady reads it well. Thumps it and cops a hard one. Does well. Laying on the ground. Still good enough to get the hand pass away. Bowden will thump this ball long. So it's a one-on-one contest. Louis McKenna against Chaffee. They both go to ground. And Jones runs it through for a behind.
The skipper's off for a breather. John Worsfold and Chris Waterman on, who is taking to the ground, I think, late in that first quarter. See much game time today. He goes up to a half-forward flank. Actually, McIntosh playing centre half-forward at the moment.
Fraser Geary gets the hurry up, goes short to Morrison. The Eagles by 38 points. Braun running hard towards the outer side of the ground, being marked by Banfield. The lead's on from Matera. So a transfer of play back to Fraser Geary. So now they come out towards the centre wing and find Cousins. He's had a big game, 20 possessions and 3 marks. To centre wing, McIntosh, beaten by Bullis. So the Tigers keep chipping away. They still trail by 38 points. They'll be out of the top 8 tonight. Melbourne will be in. And there's James.
Well, we saw Fuster kick a goal from here, KB, so James has got a decent kick on him, so he can get the accuracy.
Well, he's booted 2, 1 goal in the second quarter and 1 in the third. And he's given the Tigers a target up forward. He's going for his third goal. 55 metres out, leans back on the ball. So a chance for the high flyers. McKenna at ground level. To Mainwaring, gets an almighty roar every time he touches the ball or goes near it. Bit too much carry on the ball for Cousins. Kept in by Jones. Evans. He'll need support from Gale. Doesn't get it. Tivendale. Advantage is paid to the Tigers. So the youngster playing his first game comes through the centre square. Roggins the ball down towards Bowden. Missed it on the half volley. Matera shows him the ball. The old mongoose and the cobra trick goes short and finds Morrison. Back to Mainwaring. Some run across half-back for the Eagles. Drives the ball down towards the half-forward line. And Gale, backing back this time, beats Fuster.
From Gale to Gale. This is Michael up towards the wing. 14-59-7. Some of these youngsters playing for the Eagles, it just occurred to me, would not have played with Chris Mainwaring before. Here's Broderick. Right on the wing. Taking plenty of time. Drives it down towards half forward. Evans will need to go, and that's a good grab. They refuse to lie down, the Tigers. Well, interesting. It comes to Knights. Knights intended for Tivendale. Too much carry. Morrison grabs it. Safety first. Boots it out towards the boundary, but the ball refuses to run on. Picked up by Chaffee. Bearing down Matera. Great chase. Got him across the line. Just running in the straight line and running hard. Throw in with just under 11 minutes to go. McIntosh, Bullis. McIntosh controlled it to his own advantage to Morrison, who goes off the step. Lewis lurking on the outer side. Meters in the clear. An unlikely place to get the ball, but he got it down towards Waterman, knocked away by Turner. Buttering up is Harrison. And Harrison taken across the line by Waterman. No. Eyes as umpire Nash over the shoulder. So Harrison's got the free. Left half back.
Ben Harrison to the centre wing. Gale in front, got pushed out. Good strong mark by Fuster. An emerging talent. He's booted 3 goals today as well. It's a beautiful kick to Donnelly on a long lead inside the centre square. It all opens up for Banfield. Forced to retreat. The lead is on. Looking for the youngster. Williams centres the ball. Clever play. Mark's been taken by Heady.
Interesting to watch that. I mean, what was Tawney thinking? He just got in the no man's land, didn't he? He came off Heady, but didn't go to the contest.
Exactly.
See if we can see it here. No, you can't. Well, there he is.
Yes, he is. He went there to try and take Williams, but there's no one known who's going to get to him. And as you said, just got caught 15 metres between both players as Fuster comes off for a breather. Ball back on. Good game as Brendan Fuster. 8 and 4, 3 goals.
Brett Heady booted a goal in the 3rd quarter. His late inclusion today should kick a goal. 35 metres out, he's directly in front. Straight through the middle. 2 goals for Brett Heady. Both coming after half-time.
Sorry, Kev. Just good use of the football by West Coast just to work that ball down as Tawney's taken from the ground. Whether or not for that passage of play, we're not sure, but here Banfield's kick didn't quite make its mark, but Williams was good enough to make up the ground and turn around on his left boot and find Heady. Ball set up a little bit, but he's still able to control the ball before we got the interference there.
(15-15, 9-7). There's the bounce. Gale has to wait. Clean possession. Hurriedly onto the boot. We've seen that a few times today. Reid in the road. We've seen that a few times today as well. Only an attempt down there by Donnelly. It bounced off his chest. The hand pass came from Bullis. Broderick went down. Going to get a free kick as Broderick taken high. Bauer wanting to claim the ball for his team. Lewis reluctant to give it up. Eventually it comes back to Broderick. Cross half back. He chips it into the centre square. Taken by Kellaway. Releases Daffy. Daffy takes on Williams. The kick is shocker though. Hitting the road is Simmons. Rebound opportunity for the Eagles. The kick from Simmons not very good. It goes out towards Lewis. Lewis with Braun running past. He feeds Braun now. Now Braun can run to the 50 and score. Lines it up. Has it got the carry? Yes it has, but it's a behind. That would have been a great running goal. Careless kick from Daffy in midfield and almost punished to the full. Interesting, we saw a ball come on for Fuster. The West Coast Eagles have a large number now of tall ruckmen. Brigic, Gardner, almost forgotten men.
The Eagles led by 44 points at 3/4 time. They now led by 45. So the Tigers are hanging in there. Bullis across half back, finds Harrison, unloads back towards the half forward line. Knights is his target. He's got Banfield the beat. Slaps it over the line. Barrett.
KB, looks like Richmond are starting to concede this game is lost. They're taking off all their guys that are carrying injuries out there. Obviously Campbell, he's got ice pack on his right knee and his left thigh and got his boots off. And Jason Tawney's got an ice pack on his right hip.
Tough day at the office for Wayne Campbell. Daffy was the tackler. Simmons just keeps getting better and better. And there's a strong mark to Donnelly. So strong overhead to Fraser Gehrig on the burst, goes short. He was looking for Morrison. It was a poor kick, trapped by Heady. Good tackle by Bauer. Lewis overruns the ball. Callaway on hands and knees. Fraser Gehrig, quick snap. It's a wild kick.
Well, it won't be counted, I think, KB. I think umpire Mark Nash saying there's a free kick in there going against Lewis for a push, taken by Callaway. That's Andrew Callaway.
It's been tough being a player in the Tigers' defence today. Under a lot of pressure. And without an operating forward line, it's made it pretty difficult. Bullis just leans into the ball. Aaron James wants it on centre wing. And the lead is on it, so James has got McKenna the beat. He reads it well, playing in front. No mark paid. It's a mystery to me. Waterman on hands and knees, then Piles on top. And they'll ball it up just inside the centre square.
They didn't pay the mark. They didn't pay the free kick to Matera, who was tackled without the footy.
106-61. Just over 7 minutes till full time. Gale goes up, knocks it down. Daffy again, running hard. Kicks inside the 50. Leading back is Chaffee. Going with him is McIntosh. McIntosh works his way in front in that race. Takes it close to the line. And that takes a bit of doing. The sort of practiced fumble.
To pretend I think I'm fumbling. I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, it convinced me it was good enough. As Fewster getting strapped up. I suppose they practiced that for hours down in that pocket. Just a little fumble. James goes up. McIntosh knocks it away. Braun, like his game. It's 20 possessions now to the outer side. Knights has tried so hard with Banfield. He'll throw it in. Since the advent of the blood rule, we've seen a fair bit of that. Strapped up.
30 possessions to Matthew Knights.
Ball to be thrown in. Ball, Gale decisively again to Daffy. A high floater towards half forward. Two Eagles stayed on their feet, Waring and McKenna, and as a result they work it out. Two men loose on the outer side. One of them is Braun. McKenna gets the ball to him and Braun takes off. One bounce. He could have run another 25 metres. He goes down towards the pocket to Fewster, and Fewster takes a very good grab. Not easy moving at full tilt. He's got this ball deep in the pocket. Has 3 goals on the afternoon. Not the best position in the world to kick at goal, but if you've got an angle, probably the preferred one this afternoon. And Donnelly, right on the goal line, gets to his feet, kicks a goal, all clear.
Well, such an important game this has been for West Coast to get some form back. They had such a dour struggle last week against Sydney. A bit stiff to lose that game, and they're such an emotive game as well. Other players very flat after that, so the injection this week of Waring, the 150th of McIntosh, and just the way they've gone about their football today after a very spirited first half by Richmond, it's been as good a performance as I've had for some time.
The Eagles by 51 points, just under 6 minutes left in this final quarter. So Gale got his hands on the ball, beaten by Ball. There's a juggling mark to Donnelly. Good 65 metres out, the lead is on. He's looking for Fewster. Callaway does well. Chips in. Got a loose player wide. Harrison. Across half back. Goes short to Nichols. Spent a little time on the field today. Played a few games with the Eagles. Bowden pumps the ball long. Knights is back there as well. But there's McIntosh. Having a magnificent season. Arguably the best full-back in the competition this year. To Waring as the roars go up around Subiaco. Drills it to Donnelly, who's just kicked the goal. Now he's taking mark on the half-back flank. To Ball. Such a big game today. Big prize was a spot in the top 8. To the half-forward line. Bullis juggles it. Gale started on the bench. To Callaway. Finds Broderick, so some run for the Tigers. Harrison carries the ball to the centre wing and then drills it down and finds Chaffee. 55 metres out. Daffy is running hard. He spots him. It's a great kick. Yet to kick a goal today, Nick Daffy.
He's had a fair bit of the KB, hasn't he? Yes. He's had 22 and 3.
So Nick Daffy kicked 26 goals for the season, directly in front. has kicked a goal.
Well, he has worked pretty hard today, Nick Duffy, but he hasn't quite been as effective, I think, with the number of his disposals that he has had. I think Philip Reid, who's been predominantly his immediate opponent for the most part of that, he's been far more effective with his set of disposals, 17 and 5. But it's certainly not his work rate which has let them down. It's just lack the support. He and Knights have worked extremely hard through that middle of the ground.
16-16, 10-7. Gale goes up. It's beaten by Ball. Crashing onto the ball there is Cousins, running it down towards half forward. Could have been taken high. It comes to Lewis. Tries to go with the outside of the boot. Nothing doing. Harrison to Bowden. Bowden decides to run it out. He comes towards half back. Goes back to Harrison. Harrison kicks it up towards the wing. Waiting behind a chance for Cousins. Prescott dives in. Ties it up. It's still in there. Wait for a whistle. No, play goes on. Over the ball now is Jones. He hand passes towards the line and out she goes. Just under 3.5 minutes to go. It's over this one. West Coast Eagles. With St Kilda and Adelaide to come. St Kilda away, and St Kilda in terrible trouble at the moment. Currently onto the boot by Braun. And Waring's got it. Takes on Evans. Hand passes across to Williams. Williams goes by hand to Heady. Heady runs to the 50, looking for somebody. Goes along the ground, bouncing it down towards full forward. Turner's in the road. Miscues. Hand passes it across the line. Adrian.
Dennis average Eagles crowd today, 37,687 as we watch Evans went down heavily in that tackle with Chris Mainwaring.
So young Evans going off for the Tigers. They can ill afford to lose goal kickers. Next week a big game against Brisbane, and they've got Melbourne in the last game of the year. Bowden marks across half back. Sets it up wide to Bauer. So a casual bounce to the edge of the centre square, looking for Aaron James. Kicked a couple of goals today. Might have a future for the Tigers. Ryan, quick hands back to Tivendale, playing his first game. He looks for Chaffey. Takes it over and they'll toss it back in. So we see Evans on screen.
Yeah, he's just had to affect the tackle on Mainwaring, KB, when Mainwaring was running down the boundary line. He turned his body to protect himself, and in doing so, just contact accidental with the head of Evans.
Doesn't look well. Simmons. Been a very good player today for the Eagles. Williams taken over by Bowden. Let's have a look at that tackle.
We'll see again Mainwaring running with the ball. Just turns his body to protect himself. Just to fend off. Got Evans high there. Nothing malicious in that.
Gale and ball. Lock horns taken away by Daffy. Still trying hard. Through the centre square, wants to set it up short, does well and finds Nichols, who can give it to Chaffey, who can turn around. He was in two minds whether to run into the open goal. He'll go back for the set shot. Well, he started virtually at full forward for the Tigers along with Ottens. That was their forward set up in the opening term. Kicked a goal in this last term when he come back off the interchange bench. So Chaffey going for goal number 2. And he's got it.
Well, there's no question, Kev, that it's one of those things at this stage of the year, if teams are starting to fade a little. We'll see Richmond go out of the 8. We mentioned it becomes a bit of a struggle then for them to maintain their position. The players need to grasp the opportunity in these remaining games of the season to try and cement a spot and look to their own future, not selfishly of course. Chaffey's last quarter has been quite okay.
112-73. Play restarts. Gale beaten again by Ball. Daffy has tried so hard it spills wide to Braun. Reid played it very well, couldn't control it though. Eventually Nichols knocks it away from him. Still Nichols, very left-sided. How will he play this? He feeds it back, taken on the other side by Bullis, who boots it down towards half forward. Chaffey, fourth man in the queue. spills wide. Daffy's got it now. Hand passes back towards the boundary. Upended was Prescott. They work it forward once more. Broderick's hand pass though at the feet of Tivendale, and away comes Matera.
Poor handball by Broderick to the youngster, Waterman, from the half-back line. A couple of casual bounces up towards the half-forward line. Heady's his target. Bauer got his hands on the ball. Heady goes to ground. They pile on top. Bowden wants a free kick and he'll get it. Just over 30 seconds left in the match. James on centre wing. Five marks and 5 kicks today to Aaron James. Benny Gale has got a loose player inside the centre square. Finds Bullis, who wants to set it up, runs into trouble with Lewis, who was caught in 2 minds. Ryan goes wide and finds Michael Gale, who's on 50. He can play on, there's no one on the mark to the goal square. Here's Tivendale, the youngster, couldn't take it on the second grab in his first game. Caught by Fraser Gehrig. As the siren sounds, it's a big win for the West Coast Eagles. 16-16, 112. They're in the 8 tonight. The Tigers are outside the top 8. Melbourne goes in. 11-7, 73. And the Eagles, after trailing by 2 points at quarter time, led by 24 at half time, 44 at 3/4 time, and have run out easy winners, 112-73.
Yes, a commendable effort by West Coast.